The catastrophe is coming. I took my whole family to cultivate immortality. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176, Consequences of Disobedience. Qin Feng underestimated how shameless Lu Quan-Ke was. It stands to reason that they came to Phoenix Mountain together. Now, when there are outsiders, there will be something close to infighting, and Yi Kai and Qian as a girl. The speed reached the limit. Qin Feng decisively knocked a man next to He Yang Heo flying, but He Yang Heo was also pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. He didn't expect that the action of drawing the gun was very stable and very fast, although he was hit by Qin Feng's wrist, but gunshots sounded first. Bay. In the darkness, gunfire rang out. The little beast let out a scream, its body fell to the ground, and blood could be faintly seen flowing out. Qin Feng's face was gloomy, and he scolded coldly, ****HOLE. Between the force of the wrist, He Yang Heo's body smashed to the ground. ****K. He Yang Heo's face was at hen, and he was very unconvinced. **Boy, do you dare to do something to me?" Qin Feng's eyes were a little cold. At this moment, He Yang Heo wanted to continue scolding, but the swearing words came to his lips, and he swallowed them back. In the end, he was shocked by the momentum Qin Feng exuded instantly. Yi Kai and Qian liked the cute little beast very much. After seeing the tragedy, she felt very distressed and glared at Lu Quan-Ke. "What's wrong with you? Are you willing to let it die?" Lu Quan-Ke snorted coldly, not feeling that he was at fault. "That's just a little beast. It hurt my face. I can't do anything with it." Yi Kai and Qian, "You're almost done." As soon as the word came to this point, Lu Quan-Ke felt a flash in front of his eyes, and before he could react, he was slapped away by a slap. Snapped. The slap sound was especially loud under the night. Looking at it, the person who hit him was Qin Feng, and Lu Quan-Ke was so angry. If Qin Feng had not shot too hard just now, Lu Quan-Ke would have turned his face on what he said. "What did you hit me for? You're still awake. You don't know how much trouble you've caused." Qin Feng's expression has always been calm, but at this time, he rarely seemed a little angry. Before Lu Quan-Ke said anything, Yanzu spoke up. "Wukin, are you sick? Beating your own people for the sake of a beast? If you don't understand anything, just shut up for me." Qin Feng is not used to anyone now, and his face is gloomy. Yanzu opened her mouth, but she didn't dare to say anything later. I didn't expect Qin Feng to be so scary. When he got angry, Pointy Yang Heo had already been helped by the people around him, and looked at Qin Feng coldly. "Boy, I remember you. I will ask you for an explanation about this matter today. Now that little beast is dead, what else do you want to do? It's not going to turn your back on us completely, right? You are very powerful, but we people really want to kill you, and tonight, it may not be how it will be. After all, there is still a lot of fear in Qin Feng's heart. He Yang Heo speaks very hard, but he is strong from the outside and works hard." Qin Feng frowned, looked at the motionless beast, and sighed slightly. "Sure. Enough. The old saying is right. You have to kill yourself. No matter how long outsiders are, they can't hold them back. I'm too lazy to do anything to you. Believe me, if that little beast dies, you will pay a huge price tonight." With a cold snort, He Yang Heo scoffed at Qin Feng's words. "Don't scare people there. You're telling the truth. You don't think I'm really scared, do you?" Qin Feng, however, was too lazy to pay attention to He Yang Heo and the others, and turned to Yi Yuan and said, "Let's go. You must leave here, otherwise, there will be danger." Yi Yuan didn't hesitate at all. She believed Qin Feng instinctively, nodded and replied, "Okay, we'll leave now." Then, thinking of my sister, he opened the mouth and said, "Kai and Qian, you come with us." When Yi Kai and Qian first started, he didn't want to leave, but after Lu Quan-Ke took a grudge against a small beast, Yi Kai and Qian felt that it would be meaningless to stay any longer. "Are you in the mood to continue playing?" "Okay, let's go." Sun Heolian hurriedly said. "Sister Yuan, Kai and Qian, there's no need to do this, right? It's late at night, and it's too dangerous to travel. What Lu Quan K did just now is a bit excessive, but it's understandable when you think about it. If you are angry, don't be angry, everyone. Stay at ease for one night. It's really not good, and you can leave tomorrow. Qin Feng had already helped Yi Yuan to pack up the things, and the whole speed was very fast. Let's go. Stay here. Don't know what's going to happen. The moment the words fell, Qin Feng frowned. Almost at the same moment, a scream suddenly sounded. What? There was no sign, and the miserable screams under the night made people unconsciously startled. My grass, what's wrong? In the astonishment of everyone, they found that a man on He Yang Heo's side fell to the ground without warning, screaming constantly, and he was unconsciously grabbing his hands, as if he was suffering unimaginable pain. Little Qian, what's wrong with you? The person next to him asked, but at this time, the little money just kept screaming, and couldn't say anything else. He Yang Heo was stunned and blurted out, grass, what happened? I don't know. The man who was answering, without warning, also began to scream. His body fell to the ground, and he kept rolling. His face was particularly distorted. This kind of thing happened one after another, and everyone's face changed. Don't forget, it's not just the middle of the night, but more importantly, it's in the barren mountains, and there's no sign of the situation in front of you. Who doesn't feel terror and fear? Yi Qian's pretty face was a little pale, and she said subconsciously, it happened. What happened? Qin Feng's expression was a little grim. Don't ask so many questions, just leave now. Qin Feng took the Yi sisters down the mountain decisively. Just now, Sun Haolian was still persuading him to stop him. Now, the strange things that happened one after another made Sun Haolian look very surprised, and he forgot to talk to Yi Yuan again. Under the night, Qin Feng had no problem hurrying on the road, but the speed of the Yi sisters was much slower. The three of them had just walked out not far when a series of exclamations sounded. What is that? What the hell? Could it be an alien invasion? Run, run. The voices of the people around He Yang Heo were also mixed with the panicked voices of Sun Haolian. They were still there just now. At this time, they couldn't even pack their things, and started rushing down the mountain. Yi Qian was stunned. To be honest, she couldn't help being shocked and curious at this moment. This Wukong is so amazing. How did he know that something would happen? What happened behind them? Those people, how could it be scarier than a ghost? Chapter 177 Chain Reaction. Yi Qian couldn't help being curious and looked back. Under the night, although there is moonlight, it is basically impossible to see what happened. After a while, Liu Zun was worthy of being a track and field student before, and he ran so fast that he was already close to Qin Feng and his group. In the end, if Qin Feng alone really wanted to leave, he wouldn't even be able to see a shadow at this time, but with two girls by his side, the whole speed couldn't be faster at all. Yi Qian quickly asked, Liu Zun, what happened? I thought I would get some news, but I never thought about it. Liu Zun didn't even lift his head and continued to run frantically. In the middle, because of the night road, he fell a bit, and he didn't care about the pain. He quickly got up and continued frantically flee. Yi Qian looked stunned and said inexplicably, what happened to him? Yi Yuan had experienced a lot, and she looked down on Liu Zun's actions. Silly sister, can't you think of it? Something terrible must have happened later. That's why Liu Zun ran away in such a hurry. I guess the idea in his heart is very simple. As long as he can run faster than the rest of us, in this way, don't care who becomes the scapegoat, at least he's fine. Yi Qian was stunned and had to admit that her sister's judgment should be right. At this time, there were faint screams from behind. He Yang Heo and those people were still being attacked. Then came Yanzu's cry. Wait for me, I can't run fast, don't leave me behind. Regardless of Yanzu's pleading, Lu Quan K, who usually obeys Yanzuan's advice and is always attentive, ran down the mountain without looking back at this time. It was obvious that his thoughts in his heart were probably similar to Liu Zun's. Sun Haolian was also very realistic. Rushing forward, his face was pale and even a little distorted. After a while, the two of them watched over Qin Feng and the other three, and did not stop to explain what good things happened. Yunzu couldn't run fast in the back and was already crying when she released her. After seeing Qin Feng and other 3 people in front of him, he shouted loudly, Qian, I beg you, wait for me, wait for me. It's terrible. There are so many weird ants that are as big as fingers. Some people were bitten into bones in a short time. I don't want to die, Qian, so I can kneel down for you. Please wait for me. Don't be ashamed and leave me alone. The faces of the Yi sisters suddenly changed. Weird ants? Don't forget, Yi Heichuan got the strange disease because of the strange ants. If it wasn't for Qin Feng's action, he would have gone to see Lord Yama by now. What makes people feel even more terrifying is that at the beginning, a strange ant almost killed Yi Heichuan. Now, listening to Yunzu's meaning, countless ants of that kind appeared, and some people were bitten to death and became bones. Of course, the dead must be among those brought by He Yang Heo, but if this continues, everyone who comes to Luofeng Mountain tonight will be in danger. Yi Yuan couldn't help looking at Qin Feng and asked, You have always advised everyone not to come to Luofeng Mountain. Did you already think that there would be danger? Qin Feng didn't hide it, and explained, I wasn't very sure at the time. Those ants should be well hidden. I didn't find out directly, but I always felt that something was wrong. Also, when Qian came to Luofeng Mountain, your father's illness maybe, that Qian had no intention of it. I brought back the ants, and I don't know why they didn't attack Qian, but instead attacked your father. Yi Qian felt scared when she heard it. If it wasn't for luck, or if her father suffered for her, then the person who fell ill at that time was probably herself. At the same time, Yi Qian was a little confused. Why didn't those weird ants appear before? Generally speaking, there is a law of operation between heaven and earth. When a strange poisonous insect appears, there will be a corresponding species that restrains it. That small white beast should be the natural nemesis of strange ants. When it is there, it can deter those weird ants from appearing. But unfortunately, it died in He Yang Heo's hands just now. Yi Qian blurted out, what you said really makes sense. Thinking about it now, that weird little beast looks a bit like an anteater. But, how could this species appear in China? Qin Feng said, while leading the 2 of them on the road. Have you forgotten that alien beasts have invaded, and immortal cultivators have appeared? To put it bluntly, in the world today, some things have become different from your previous perceptions. It could happen. Yi Yuan frowned and sighed. He Yang Heo and those people are self-inflicted and can't live. However, it affects other people. What should I do? Sister, don't worry, we left early. It shouldn't be a big problem, right? Well, those weird ants can't rush over so quickly. Shaking her head, Yi Yuan was still a little worried. I'm not talking about this, but I'm thinking, if those weird ants spread from Luofeng Mountain without the suppression of the little beasts, wouldn't the entire Los Angeles city be affected? Hearing her sister's words, Yi Qian's face changed completely. Just now, she really didn't think about it so much. At the beginning, it was just a weird ant that almost killed my father Yi Heichuan. If there were countless ants, it would be terrifying to think about. Suddenly a light flashed in my mind. At this time, should the Qin family be notified? Maybe they have a way to deal with the weird ants. Not only Yi Qian, but in fact, most of the Chinese people at this time thought the immortals of the Qin family were omnipotent. Yi Yuan didn't speak. She thought to herself, do you still need a notification? The suzerain of the Qin family already knows. Okay. As he spoke, he could faintly hear the sound of chatter in the surrounding jungle. Qin Feng frowned and narrowed his eyes slightly. It's coming faster than expected. Startled. For a while, Yi Qian asked worriedly, what is fast and slow? Those weird ants are coming. Hearing this, Yi Qian's pretty face instantly turned pale. At this moment, there was an extremely shrill scream from behind, and nothing could be said, only the screams of AAH in succession. Yi Qian looked back subconsciously, and the opposite was the person from He Yang Heo, who was running forward frantically. Under the night, he seemed to have become a lunatic. Unfortunately, he didn't run far, and fell to the ground. Through the cold moonlight, Yi Qian saw an extremely terrifying scene. The man actually turned into a skeleton in a short period of time. Even if he couldn't see clearly, He could imagine how weird it must be. Ants are frantically foraging. At this moment, Yi and Qin felt despair in her heart. Chapter 178 People. When she saw that the running man not far away turned into bones, Yinzu was frightened and cried wildly. The more anxious you are, the more afraid you are. You can't run fast. At this time, after falling down one after another, you can't move forward. Yi and Qin couldn't bear to see that it was her friend after all. However, in the current situation, Yi and Qin felt that she could not protect herself and was embarrassed to ask Qin Feng Maoxin to rescue Yinzu. Later, the cry for help from He Yang Hao and others could be heard. Help, help, hell, this is hell on earth. Who will save me? I have money, help. He Yang Hao was guarded by 2 or 3 people and kept running forward, his face pale to the extreme. He never imagined that the moment before, he was proud of the scenery, and soon, it became what it is now. It's terrible. The problem is that now it is really called Xianshan not working, and the earth is not working. The sound of Shasha behind him was getting closer and closer. He Yang Hao couldn't help but glance back. The real person was so pale that there was no blood at all. Through the moonlight, you can faintly see the strange ants behind. On the mountain road, it is difficult for people to run, but for those ants, it is simply a natural home field. Seeing that the distance is constantly being pulled in, He Yang Hao at this moment feels that he is really going to end, and tears have already flowed down. I haven't spent all my money, and I haven't found enough for the woman I'm looking for. Why should I die here? He Yang Hao was extremely unwilling, but those weird ants were already approaching, getting faster and faster. If things continued to develop normally, He Yang Hao and the remaining 2 people, including Yinzu who could no longer run, would have to die here. However, at the most dangerous time, a very strange cry appeared faintly. Beep. I had never heard such a cry before. Unexpectedly, those strange ant colonies that were originally aggressive, but at this time, the speed of chasing forward has slowed down a bit. Qin Feng looked a little surprised, looked back, and for a while, did not continue to move forward. Yi and Qin couldn't help being anxious. Brother, what are you looking at? Don't you want to run for your life? The little girl's pretty face was full of worry. Yi Yuan is much calmer. She knows better than anyone that the person in front of her is Qin Feng, the patron saint of China. If his life is really in danger, Qin Feng at this time will probably have already risen from the wind. Since he is still standing, stopping there means Qin Feng is very sure. Simply stop with Qin Feng and look back. Unbelievably, at the rear, a light blue halo erupted, followed by a few more beeps. The light blue halo began to move, and the overwhelming ant colony slowed down again. After a while, the light blue halo continued to move forward. Yi Yuan's pretty face was full of surprise. Then, is that another little beast? Yes, the one emitting a faint blue halo was a snow white beast that looked a bit like a cat and a bit like an anteater. With the appearance of the little beast, it seems that there is this strange smell on the real Luofeng mountain, and it smells like disinfectant in the hospital. What was even more unexpected was that those weird ants, after approaching the light blue halo, became stiff and stagnant. Yi Yuan and others could not see clearly, but Qin Feng could see clearly with his superb eyesight. Clearly. Those weird ants are dying in pieces. It seems that the light blue halo emitted by the small beasts and the strange odor have such a powerful lethal power on the weird ants. No wonder the small beasts can shock the entire fall. The strange ants in Fengshan hide their traces, and even Qin Feng's consciousness cannot detect them. Yi and Qian's face was very surprised, and she was also very curious. Does the little beast still have a companion? He Yang Hao killed its companion. At a critical time, the little beast can still come out to save people. I really want to know what He Yang Hao is thinking now. Is he not ashamed at all? Qin Feng said at this time, it's not the companion of the little beast, or the injured little beast. Ah, it's true or false? The eyes of the Yi sisters were full of surprise. What's the point of me lying to you at this time? I was thinking just now, people, sometimes it's not as good as a beast. Although He Yang Hao's shot hit the little beast, it doesn't seem to cause fatal damage. At That time, the little beast was in a state of suspended animation. Those weird ants dared to appear after they could not feel the breath of the little beast. What surprised me was that Yang Heo almost killed the little beast, but at the critical moment, the little beast appeared, not standing idly by. Yi Kai and Qian looked a little complicated. She had to admit that Qin Feng's words made sense. Sometimes, people really can compare to beasts. If it was someone else, after being nearly killed by Yang Heo, it would be good if he didn't fall into the trap. It was absolutely impossible to help. That white, cute little beast, after being injured one after another, still ignored the past suspicions. It makes people feel inexplicably moved. However, the little beast was injured after all. Those weird ants, after the initial fear and stagnation, followed and rushed towards the little beast. For a time, all the weird ants regarded the little beast as the biggest threat, but Yang Heo and others took the opportunity to come down safely. The look on Yang Heo's face was also a little incredible. He really didn't expect that the person who saved his life was actually that little beast. I don't know how to evaluate this. After a brief hesitation, Yang Heo said, "What are you doing? Hurry up and protect me and escape." The two people around them woke up like a dream. Those weird ants were too many and too ferocious. In a short time, they could resist the little beasts. After a long time, something big would definitely happen. Don't run away at this time. Isn't that a fool? Qin Feng frowned slightly before leaving with the Yi sisters. Yi Yuan asked, "Can that little beast resist the weird ant colony?" After pondering for a while, Qin Feng shook his head. "If you don't suffer from gunshot wounds, heavy injuries, and there is still a chance, now, there is basically no possibility. Sooner or later, you will die in the crazy attack of the ant colony." Yi Kai and Qian blurted out subconsciously, "Then let's run away quickly, otherwise, those ants should be running towards us later. To be honest, Yi Kai and Qian is a normal reaction, and it is estimated that most people will choose this in the same situation." Unexpectedly, Qin Feng said at this time, "Yuan, take Kai and Qian and continue down the mountain. Pay more attention to safety." Yi Yuan's pretty face suddenly changed. She had already thought that Qin Feng's words meant that he wanted to stay and help the little beast deal with the strange ant colony. This is too dangerous. Chapter 180 Unexpected Domineering Side Leak. The number of weird ants is too large, especially the pounding beasts that are going crazy now. Looking at the moonlight, it looks like waves of silent waves. If you don't get bitten, it's naturally fine, but if you get bitten, I'm afraid you will be attacked by more ants in the future. Don't forget, there is a lesson from the past. The few people around Yang Heo don't have much time to react, and soon became the bones of Sensen Point. According to Qin Feng's judgment, the aura between the heavens and the earth is increasing, so that a small beast can almost be said to be a spirit beast after absorbing the aura. However, those ants also absorbed the hostility caused by the invasion of alien beasts between heaven and earth. Compared with the ant that appeared in the Yi family, the ants on the mountain poison are now larger, and they must be stronger and more violent. Qin Feng stepped up, and there were countless wind blades surging around his body. In a trance, those wind blades turned into invisible silver needles in an instant, making a chi-chi-chi breaking sound. Those weird ants couldn't react at all, and they were dismembered and killed. However, the ants behind it continued to attack tirelessly, getting more and more violent. Beep. The little beast kept making strange chirping noises, the faint blue halo around the body, and the smell like disinfectant water, which made those weird ants die in silence. It is indeed the natural nemesis of weird ants. Some ants rushed to the vicinity, and were directly eaten by the slender tongue of the small beast. However, the little beast was wounded by gunshots twice in a row, and it was not bad to be able to recover a life. Fighting against the ant colony one after another took a lot of energy on the little beast. At this time, the light blue halo on his body kept shrinking. The smell like disinfectant is also gradually dissipating. Qin Feng took on more fights, and the wind blades rushed into the ant colony one after another, causing a large area of death. Destroy. As Qin Feng shouted loudly, in the nearby woods, there seemed to be a hurricane, and countless leaves flew up and turned into extremely sharp blades, killing the ants that rushed up one after another. Frowning his brows, Qin Feng thought to himself, if it continues like this, it will definitely not work. It is impossible to see when all the weird ants will be killed. If the ants' nests can be found, they may be able to win the battle. With a move in his heart, Qin Feng looked at the little beast. Do you know the nests of these ants? Qin Feng wasn't sure if the little beast could understand it, so he asked casually unexpectedly. The little beast hesitated for a while, and then his eyes brightened a little, and his mouth made a series of beep sounds, as if he could really understand Qin Feng's words. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng decided to give it a try. If the little beast really found the ant's nest, it would be much easier to handle. At this time, Qin Feng was already thinking about whether to activate the supreme fire and launch an attack, which would definitely kill the ant colony crazily, but it was in the wild mountains. Once the ground fire spreads, Qin Feng is not completely sure what it will be like. Until the last moment when there was no other way, Qin Feng didn't even want to use the supreme fire attack. Exhaling a breath, Qin Feng just pretended that the little beast could understand human words, and said again, you stop, I'll find a way, and then, if you can find these ant nests, then I'll be sure to eliminate all the ants. After waiting for a while, looking at some cute little beasts, they made a beep sound again. Qin Feng reached out and touched the head of the little beast. At this moment, the vast spiritual energy in his body wandered away. In an instant, the little beast made a long beep sound. Originally, because of the fighting after being injured, he was very dispirited. The moment he felt Qin Feng's spiritual energy poured into his body, the whole momentum of the little beast kept rising. The light blue halo swelled and exploded again, and the smell of disinfectant water went into the wind. Those ants killed and injured a lot in an instant. Qin Feng just tried it, but he didn't expect the effect to be good. Now, he is even more relieved to let the little beast resist for a while. The next moment, Qin Feng didn't hesitate, got up from the wind, and rushed down the mountain. At this time, he, Yang Hao and others were all by the lake, all looking uneasy. Staying here first, there is no way to do it, and I'm ready to go to the end of the world at any time, and continue to run. Sun Haoliang looked very nervous and asked, you said, can that little beast stop the ant colony? Liu Zun and Lu Quan Ke had not yet recovered from their fear, and neither spoke a word. Yanzu had a good rest at this time, but her face was still not good looking, and she blurted out, it feels unstoppable. To be honest, I don't even know what to do. You people are unreliable at all. That Woodkin is even more insane. He was almost at the foot of the mountain, and he went back to die. I think we should call the police. Even if you call the police, what can you do if those people come? Unless you set fire to the mountain. This method may work, but it's better not to run out of those weird ants. Yuan frowned and said, wait now, Woodkin is still up there. He should be able to deal with the ant colony. Yin Zhu pouted and scoffed at Yuan's words. Don't make fun of it. That Woodkin must be a bone now. If you want me to say, it is to set fire to the mountain. We are all by the lake anyway. It must be fine. Wait until those weird ants are burned to death. Just as she was talking, Yanzu found that Yuan came over. Her expression was a little strange. She didn't know what Yuan wanted to do, but the next moment, Yuan slapped Yanzu in the face with a slap. Your family is accustomed to you. I won't. You don't understand human words, right? Woodkin didn't let you go up the mountain at first, so he didn't listen. He told you not to touch that little beast. Qin is still dealing with those ants on the mountain. He will definitely not die, and you are thinking of setting fire to the mountain. Yuan, put my words here today. Let me see who dares to set fire to it. At that time, even if I go bankrupt and bet all the assets of the Yi family, the person who sets the fire will be worse off than dead. Yin Zhu, who was slapped in the face, covered her face, and was completely stunned. She didn't expect Yuan to look very gentle, but was she really angry, so fierce? Sun Haoliang's group also stared at Yuan dumbfounded. For a while, including Yang Hao, no one dared to say anything about setting fire. Yi Qian Qian thought to herself, my god, my sister still has such a domineering side, which is amazing for my sister. When everyone was silent, suddenly, in the lake beside me, there was a loud crashing sound, and everyone's faces changed wildly. What happened again? Chapter 181 Miracle reappears. He Yang Heo, Sun Heolian and others, their faces changed completely, and they all cried for a while. What did Tsui do tonight? And it didn't stop for a while. There will never be countless ferocious ants on the mountain, and in the lake. What kind of behemoth is there? That really is no way to survive. Point at this time, there was a vortex in the lake, followed by a thick water column that shot straight into the sky, just like the legendary dragon water. At this time, everyone instinctively looked up. F***K. Several people, including the little beauty Yikai and Qian, couldn't help but swear, mainly because the scene in front of her was too shocking, and it didn't matter if she had not received 9 years of compulsory education. Only the word F***K is the best. Express your thoughts directly. In the sky in the dark night, through the moonlight, you can see a person rising up against the wind, and there is a tyrannical whirlwind around his body. Point that sturdy water column rose into the sky precisely because of the whirlwind around the man's body. Yikai and Qian was extremely excited at this time, and said again, "It's him, it's Qin, it's Wukin." Fortunately, Yikai and Qian changed her words in time, otherwise, Qin Feng's name would have been called out at this moment. That's right, the person who rose from the wind was Qin Feng. If it is said that after the invasion of alien beasts, the immortal cultivators of the Qin family appeared one after another. However, the current Qin Feng is not only rising up from the wind, but is using the tyrannical strength to introduce the lake water into the sky. If it wasn't for the fact that they were witnessing what was happening with their own eyes, these people present would probably never have dreamed that such a thing would happen. Rise. Qin Feng exhaled, and his figure flashed again, heading towards the mountain. Point the lake water rising into the sky behind Qin Feng is like a water dragon. No matter how you look at it, it makes people feel extremely shocking. Yikai and Qian clapped her hands excitedly and said, "I see, Wukin is going to flood the 7th army." In fact, even if Yikai and Qian didn't say it, others had already reacted. Now Qin Feng wants to annihilate those ants with lake water. Everyone knows that water and fire are the nemesis of those ants, but what most people can think of is to set fire to the mountain and fight to kill all the weird ants at a heavy price point. Even if someone is really open to thinking about using water to deal with ant colonies, it is estimated that no one has the incredible strength in front of Qin Feng. Miracle. This is a miracle. No, it's not a miracle, it's a miracle. The few people in front of them all had the urge to pay homage, and they wanted to kneel down and count out a few times to express their respect. Point the two people beside Yang Heo were full of horror and unconsciously thought that when they were on the mountain at that time, they must have had a convulsion in their brains, so they thought of being the enemy of Qin Feng, right? Just looking at this move, if Qin Feng really wanted to do it with all his strength, they would have died long ago without knowing how. Point in the video on the internet, I can see how the immortal cultivators of the Qin family are killing the quartet. However, sometimes I always feel that it is not so real. Today, everything is happening in front of me. The shock of seeing it in person is completely different. Sun Heoliang's eyes were so shocked that he lost focus. He swallowed a few mouthfuls of spit and asked subconsciously, "Sister Yuan, there is an immortal by your side?" Who is he? It wasn't he just Sun Heolian who had such doubts. The others also looked at Yi Yuan with anticipation, wanting to know an answer. As a result, Yi Yuan ignored her, as if she hadn't heard it. Yikai and Qian's face was full of excitement, and there was a faint sense of superiority. Point, are you stupid? Are you curious? Hi, I know, but I won't tell you. I won't tell you. At this time, Qin Feng entered the sky with the lake water. As if in an instant, he arrived at Luo Feng Mountain, where the little beasts and those ants were fighting frantically. "Little guy, where is the ant's nest?" Qin Feng's voice came out, and even Yi Yuan and others at the foot of the mountain could hear it clearly. Who is he talking to? It can't be with that little beast. Is it possible that the little beast can still understand human speech? Don't make a fuss about it. Don't you forget that during the defense battle of Kyoto, the strange beast that came out was a bit like a monkey, and when it was killed by Sect Master Qin Feng, it was on the verge of death. It is also possible that the little beast can understand human words. It makes sense. Besides, Things like guiding lake water into the sky, which only gods can do, have already happened. If something else happens, I don't think it's too surprising. Several people are still discussing. On Luofeng Mountain, the little beast seems to understand Qin Feng's words. The light blue halo around the body skyrocketed again, and the little beast turned from defense to attack, unstoppable, and rushed towards those ants. As if feeling a strong sense of oppression in the sky, those ants, like crazy, want to block the impact of the little beast. However, the small beasts were full of firepower, with a light blue halo, with a smell like disinfectant, and the constant impact. Those ants, who died in pieces, looked very weak. In fact, because the small beasts were those ants' natural nemesis, if it was replaced by other animals to attack, at this time, it is estimated that the crazy ant colony would have eaten it into bones. The little beast charged for about 10 minutes, and was almost at the top of Luofeng Mountain. At this time, it stopped at the side of a few big trees, and made a beep sound towards Qin Feng. That means, as if to say, this is the old nest of the ant colony. Qin Feng's expression was very firm. Since he chose to believe in the little beast, he should believe it to the end. Go. As Qin Feng's voice fell, the lake water that entered the sky seemed to turn into a roaring water dragon, rumbled and descended mightily. The majestic momentum made everything between heaven and earth seem to feel a strong sense of oppression. It is impossible for anyone else, including other immortals of the Qin family, to do better than Qin Feng. Manipulating the flow of water, constantly impacting. The little beast is very spiritual, and after Qin Feng injected spiritual energy into its body, the injury was completely unaffected. The constant impact, from all directions, drove the ant colonies away, and was forced to suffer the impact of the current. At this moment, the ant colony can be said to have suffered a disaster. For the first time, a problem that seemed to be impossible to solve at first appeared, as if the place where Qin Feng was always accompanied by a miracle. Chapter 182, Change of Attitude. Qin Feng's consciousness spread to the entire Luofeng Mountain. Now that he has made all his efforts, he must make sure that all the weird ants are killed, so as not to leave another disaster. Sun Haoliang and the others at the foot of the mountain had been stunned for a long time, and until now, they have not recovered from their shock. Originally, they were worried that the turbulent water flow would bring disaster to them. It was not long before it was discovered that those water currents, as if controlled by an invisible force, returned to the lake after slaughtering the ant colony. Anyone with a normal head can understand that all this must be Qin Feng's masterpiece. Since it is possible to introduce the lake water into the sky with incredible means, it seems that it is not so surprising to do these things. Ye Qian already knew Qin Feng's true identity. After a while, she was still a little excited and said, as expected of him, as expected of him. After all, the current Qin Feng is the undisputed first person in the whole of China. Although he has done everything today, it is shocking, but he is also acceptable. Don't forget, Qin Feng has shot twice in a row, killing fierce people. The incomparable beast. The shock to Ye Qian was not lower than it is now. Yi Yuan let out a long sigh of relief. Finally successful. Only then did Sun Haoliang and the others react, and they all said, that Wukin, no, Mr. Wu is too powerful, just a fairy. I couldn't help thinking just now that even if Sect Master Qin Feng was here, he couldn't have done better than now. Definitely my idol. Well, sometimes people are like this about the strong, and their attitudes change quickly. It seems that, when Qin Feng suggested not to come to Luofeng Mountain, it wasn't like they were crazy about Qin Feng. After a while, Yi Yuan, who had been waiting for Qin Feng's return, had a worried look on her pretty face. Why haven't you come back? Nothing will happen, right? Ye Qian said comfortably. Sister, don't scare yourself. Don't forget who he is. This matter will not put him in danger. Even though she said that, Yi Yuan's instinct was still a little uneasy. About a quarter of an hour later, I saw someone walking up the mountain. Yi Yuan and the others greeted them subconsciously. After they got closer, Yi Yuan let out a long sigh of relief. Apart from Qin Feng, there could be no one else. The only surprise was that the little beast was squatting on Qin Feng's shoulders, looking a little tired, but in a good state of mind. Qin Feng went down the mountain, after searching with his divine sense to make sure that those strange ants had not slipped through the net. Yi Yuan said subconsciously. Just come back. Just come back, son. Haoliang and the others were completely frightened by those weird ants. When they approached, Liu Zun asked respectfully, Mr. Wu, have those weird ants been resolved? It's settled. Qin Feng didn't hide it, or deliberately frightened a few people, so that if they went back and talked nonsense, it would cause unnecessary panic to other people in Los Angeles. That's good, Mr. Wu, thanks to you today. Sun Haoliang was equally respectful. Lu Kuan-Ke felt so embarrassed. He wanted to fight Qin Feng one-on-one more than once, as if he could smash Qin Feng out in minutes. As a result, he found that people were too lazy to pay attention to him. Otherwise, a little finger would probably kill him. After thinking about it, Lu Kuan-Ke was afraid that Qin Feng would still care about it, so he said, Mr. Wu, I just don't have good eyes, and I said some things that I shouldn't say. You are a fairy, but don't bother with me. Qin Feng didn't answer directly, and Lu Kuan-Ke was a little anxious. Mr. Wu, I was talking nonsense at that time. Don't take it to your heart. When you return to Los Angeles, I will definitely give you a drink to apologize. You, at this time, Yanzu said coldly, don't worry about it. Just ignore your sense of existence. Don't look at what you are. A lion is a wild dog that will never take care of you. Don't make fun of yourself, and get out of the way. At that time, Lu Kuan-Ke ran faster than a rabbit, and didn't care about Yanzu at all. This little girl, but she held a grudge, was sarcastic at this time, and showed no mercy at all. Lu Kuan-Ke's face was embarrassed, red and white, and he didn't dare to turn against Yanzu. He was even a little fortunate in his heart. Yanzu seemed to be right. Yi Kai and Qian snorted coldly and blurted out, you too, it's the black crow standing on the black pig's butt, let's not talk about anyone else. Yin Zhu's face instantly turned ugly, and she didn't dare to refute. You must know that Yanzu also looked down on Qin Feng very much at the time, and, not long ago, she wanted to set fire to the mountain directly. Regardless of Qin Feng's life or death, Yi Yuan slapped her hard on the face, and Yi Kai and Qian also felt that Yanzu's actions were not authentic. In the past, the two were still friends. From then on, Yi Kai and Qian definitely didn't care much about Yanzu. Yi Yuan didn't care what the others were talking about, and asked, you're not hurt, are you? Don't worry, I won't be hurt by this trivial matter, son. Haoliang and others were speechless. Listen, what they said, such a dangerous thing is a trivial matter, and it makes others take it seriously, and it will not make people feel that there is no way who will let Qin Feng have this absolute strength. He Yang Hao and the only two bodyguards left by his side looked very embarrassed. After thinking for a while, He Yang Hao finally opened his mouth to thank Mr. Wu. Thanks to you today, thank you. Qin Feng waved his hand and interrupted He Yang Hao. You thank me, but it's better to thank this little beast. To be honest, at that time, I didn't really want to care about your life and death, but this little beast repays grievances with virtue and doesn't care that you almost killed it. In my opinion, you are just kneeling. It's not an exaggeration to give it a kowtow. He Yang Hao's face was embarrassed. After all, he didn't feel embarrassed to kowtow to the little beast. He just opened his mouth and said, you're right, we really should thank this little guy. Qin Feng's expression was a little cold, and he said slowly, I hope your gratitude is sincere, and don't think about doing anything to this little beast in the future. It is indeed spiritual and valuable, but it has saved your life. If you have anything wrong, you should have some thoughts. Then don't blame me for being rude. He Yang Hao quickly waved his hand. Don't worry, don't dare, we really don't dare. Even if He Yang Hao, are not a gadget, I will never kill the spirit beast that saves my life. Mr. Wu, if you have the opportunity to go to Cannes in the future, if you need my help, you can come to me at any time, and I will definitely do my best at that time. He Yang Hao at this moment is very sincere in his speech. You don't need to think about it to know that he is really convinced of Qin Feng. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183 Show me this? Qin Feng glanced at Yi Yang Heo, followed, and replied indifferently, unnecessary. Yang Heo's face is a little helpless. If others say this, they seem to be a little ignorant of praise. However, Qin Feng said it as if it was so natural, and he really didn't need his help with the fairy-like means he showed tonight. What busy? Well, then I'll take my leave. Yang Heo knew that he was not welcome here, so after leaving, he left under the protection of 2 bodyguards. At this time, the sky was getting brighter, and several people had been fleeing for half a night, and all kinds of fears made them look a little tired. Liu Zun said at this time, it's down to Fengshan, there's no fun anymore, otherwise, let's go too, shall we? Yes, we shouldn't have come in the first place, let's hurry back. Several people responded one after another. Although Qin Feng said that the strange ants had been eliminated, these people were still worried that some fish would slip through the net. It was not a joke, it would really kill people. I don't want to stay in Luofeng Mountain any longer. I can't wait to grow wings and go back to Luo City. Yi Yuan looked at Qin Feng with a questioning expression on her face. Obviously, Yi Yuan wanted to hear Qin Feng make up his mind. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng said, it's time to go back, nodding her head. Yi Yuan naturally, Yi Kai and Qian responded, okay, then we'll go back. In Yi Yuan's heart, she was still a little unhappy. Once she went back, it meant that the time for Qin Feng to leave was getting closer and closer. Would not object, and there was nothing to clean up, so a few people were ready to go on their way immediately. Of course, Sun Haolian and others hope to move forward with Qin Feng, with a fairy-like person by their side, who will feel more at ease. Qin Feng looked at the little beast at this time, and touched his head. The little beast squinted his eyes, and seemed to be enjoying himself, and then rubbed his head against Qin Feng's palm. Little guy, it's time for me to go. If it's fate, see you later. At this moment, Yi Kai and Qian couldn't help but said, it's so cute. It's still hard to stay on the mountain. I don't know, can I keep it? Qin Feng waved his hand. Better not. How can a child know the joy of a fish? Perhaps, in this little guy's heart, the mountains are where he should end up. Yeah, that's right. Yi Kai and Qian nodded, thinking that Qin Feng's words made sense, so she no longer had any intention of adopting the little beast. Qin Feng put the little beast on the ground, waved his hand, and prepared to leave. Unexpectedly, at this time, the little beast opened his mouth and bit Qin Feng's trousers, and pulled back a few times. Qin Feng's expression was a little puzzled, but the little beast made a beep sound. Do you have anything else? Beep. 1 person and 1 beast cooperated to eliminate those ants. Qin Feng has already concluded that the little beast in front of him can understand people's words to a certain extent. At this time, the little beast was walking up the mountain for a certain distance, and the man stood up and stood there waiting. To be honest, at this time, the little beast had a little more cute appearance of a little squirrel. Qin Feng's expression was a little puzzled. At this moment, Yi Yuan spoke up. This little guy seems to be leading the way, like asking you to follow along. In fact, Qin Feng's thoughts were similar to Yi Yuan's. Then, follow along. Qin Feng stepped forward, and the Yi sisters naturally followed. Sun Haolian and the others were hesitant to move forward. Shall we go with you too? How? To do that giant crocodile is a bit unreliable. No matter what, it's a beast, and when it first appeared, it attacked me. It was too cruel. I think we should go back directly. What happened tonight completely frightened Lu Quan K. Moreover, when he was by Qin Feng's side, he was always worried that Qin Feng would not turn his face anytime soon, so it would be better to return to Luo City as soon as possible. The other people also knew in their hearts that Qin Feng didn't want to see them. After thinking about it, even if there are really caught fish, those weird ants should seek revenge from Qin Feng. At this time, don't take the opportunity to leave. Although they didn't say it, several people had similar thoughts, and they didn't keep up with Qin Feng, and quickly slipped away. Qin Feng continued to follow the little beast, so he didn't bother to pay attention to Sun Haolian and the others. They left early, and it would be annoying to be around. The speed of the little beast is not slow. Qin Feng can naturally keep up, but Yi Yuan and Yi Kai and Qian can't. After walking a distance, they are very tired. The little beast is very intelligent and will stop and wait before moving on. Qin Feng didn't think about letting the Yi sisters wait here, so he followed the little beast to take a look. However, if this is the case, I'm afraid that Yi Yuan is more worried, and Yi Kai and Qian may be afraid. Then it is better to go together, and it is not necessary to go too fast. Just take it as a tour of the mountains and waters. The little beast walked with the three of them for more than 2 hours in a row. After passing through a lush jungle ahead, the little beast stopped. There was some doubt on Yi Kai and Qian's pretty face, and she said, "This place, I seem to have been here last time I came to play. There should be no road ahead." Sure enough, when the three of them got close, they realized that there was a cliff in front of them. Yi Yuan was stunned, looking at the little beast, full of doubts. Qin Feng smiled, looked at the little beast and said, "Little guy, we came with you, and as a result, you showed us this." When he spoke, Qin Feng felt around and was slightly surprised. He thought that his consciousness had spread all over Luofeng Mountain, but he never thought that, if he hadn't passed through the jungle just now, he would not have been able to perceive the cliff at all. With Qin Feng's strength, this is a bit wicked. Beep, beep. The little beast hissed a few times and circled around Qin Feng. Then, it quickly descended down the cliff of the cliff and disappeared after a while. Yi Kai and Qian blurted out, "What is the little guy doing? Let's jump off the cliff with us." Qin Feng was speechless. The little girl's brain was big enough. Yi Yuan said uncertainly, "The appearance just now, as if the little beast asked you to wait here." Yi Kai and Qian tilted her head and said, "Oh, I walked around in circles. Do you mean to draw a dungeon as a prison? Let Big Brother Wu wait here?" Qin Feng smiled and said, "Since it's here, it's safe. Anyway, it's here. Just wait and see. That little guy doesn't know what to do. You two, just take a rest." The Yi sisters were really tired. They found a place and sat down against the tree to rest. At the same time, they couldn't help but wonder what that cute little beast was going to do. Chapter 184. Stepping through the iron shoes, there is nowhere to be found. Qin Feng simply sat down not far from Yi Yuan, pulled out a piece of grass, and put it in his mouth. "Ah, you tired, Yi?" Yuan shook her head subconsciously. "It's okay, not too tired, Yi." Kai and Qian said at this time, "That is, as long as my sister is with you. Even if she climbs another mountain, she probably won't feel tired." Yi Yuan pushed Yi Kai and Qian secretly. As a result, Yi Kai and Qian said dissatisfiedly, "Sister, why are you pushing me? If you push me again, I will tell the truth, okay?" Yi Yuan's native language became speechless in an instant. This little sister is becoming more and more open-mouthed. Yi Kai and Qian looked at Qin Feng with a smile and said, "Well, I know who you are. Let me explain first. It wasn't my sister who told me, but the wise I guessed it myself. Do you think I'm bored or not?" Qin Feng smiled and nodded. "It's amazing. Haha, if it is known to outsiders that sect master Qin Feng is as good as me, then you must not be frightened, thinking that I'm invincible in the world. By the way, are you going to leave after returning from Luofeng Mountain?" Qin Feng nodded. "It's time to go too. Can't you stay for 2 more days? Just let my sister accompany you to go shopping in Los Angeles. Maybe in the future, when alien beasts invade, you won't have such a leisurely day." Yi Yuan knew what her sister was thinking. She just wanted to create more opportunities and let her stay with Qin Feng for a while. For a while, Yi Yuan didn't say much, and there was still some expectation in her heart. It would be nice if Qin Feng agreed. Qin Feng shook his head and spoke softly. "I still have things to do, so I can't wait any longer." Yi Kai and Qian frowned, barely thinking about it, and blurted out, "Are you going back to accompany your current girlfriend, Yan Xiao?" Yi Yuan finally couldn't bear it anymore and said, "Kai and Qian, don't say a word. What's the matter? Can't you ask me? They all say that Yan Xiao is good looking and beautiful. I think it's just average, not as good as my sister." Qin Feng's expression remained the same, and he felt a little helpless. Yi Kai and Qian's mouth was similar to Qin Wen's. To be honest, Qin Feng didn't know how to answer. Fortunately, at the direction of the cliff at this time, there was a sound of shasha. Qin Feng moved in his heart and changed the topic. "That little guy seems to be back. I'll take a look." Yi Kai and Qian was instantly attracted to curiosity, stood up and blurted out, "I'll go take a look too, sure." Enough. Before taking 2 steps, the figure of the little beast jumped out from under the cliff. Huh? Why does the little beast have flowers on its head? Yi Kai and Qian said something without even thinking about it, but after a few minutes closer, she realized that the flower was hung in the mouth by a small beast. Speaking of which, the color of the flowers is very strange. It is a kind of khaki. I have never seen such a thing before. The closer you get, the more you can smell a strange fragrance, which feels like the fragrance of the soil after the rain. It's strange. I haven't seen this flower before. Yi Kai and Qian's face was full of curiosity. Yi Yuan was also a little surprised. After a long time, is the little beast going to pick flowers for Qin Feng? Could it be that this little beast is still a little female beast? Yi Yuan, what are you thinking about? The little beast had already arrived in front of Qin Feng, put the flower down, landed on its hind legs again, stood up, and made a beep sound from its mouth, as if asking for credit. Qin Feng pondered and picked up the flower at this moment. A familiar voice sounded in my mind. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a mountain essence flower, which can be used to formulate the Earth Tibetan heart pill, and detoxify hundreds of poisons. Qin Feng's expression remained the same, and he couldn't help but feel a little happy. Originally going out of the village, on the one hand, it was Yi Yuan's invitation, and on the other hand, it was to find an antidote that could save Qin Heogsu and others. When the Millennium Ganoderma lucidum was found in Changbei Mountain in the past, the system didn't bother to remind it or take care of it, but now it specifically explained that this mountain essence flower is definitely not an ordinary product. Just from the literal meaning, it is a collection of mountains and forests that take shape and blossom. Besides, there are weird ants in Luofeng Mountain, which are also highly poisonous. Generally speaking, the existence of mountain essence flowers is to restrain the toxins of ants. It should also have similar effects on poisonous bees that also live in the mountains and forests. Qin Feng touched the little beast's head and said with a smile, "Little guy, thank you." Beep, beep, in a trance. It was like saying no thanks to Qin Feng. "Little guy, we really should go. If we have fate in the future, we will see you again." Qin Feng's voice fell, and he waved to the little beast. This time, the little beast didn't tear Qin Feng's trousers anymore. In his tiny eyes, there was a bit of human-like reluctance, but after all, he didn't make any sound to keep him. Qin Feng took the Yi sisters and walked down the mountain. After a while, the little beasts that can be seen followed not far or near. Yi Kai and Qian couldn't help but looked back several times and asked, "That little guy has been reluctant to leave. Can't I really keep it? I can swear, I will be very good to it, very good." Before Qin Feng spoke, Yi Yuan spoke first. "I don't want it anymore. It belongs to this Luofeng Mountain. If it is really brought back, it will feel bound. Moreover, it should not want to leave us now, but more like sending us all the way." Yi Kai and Qian sighed slightly and said nothing more. After the three of them went all the way down the mountain, sure enough, the little beast was just standing on a rock a little far away, looking at Qin Feng and the three of them, but did not follow. Yi Kai and Qian waved her hands reluctantly. "Little guy, remember me, my name is Yi Kai and Qian. If you want to go out in the future, you can come to Luo City to find me." Yi Yuan is helpless. Her sister's brain is always so big, she doesn't really think that the little beast will go to her. Qin Feng also waved to the little beast, and the three of them walked away. When you can't see the little beast, you can still hear the beep sound, like a farewell from an old friend. Yi Kai and Qian's eyes couldn't help but turn a little red. "When I have time in the future, I will definitely come to Phoenix Mountain to see the little guy. I will definitely come." Qin Feng smiled and didn't say much. People are sometimes fickle. Now, maybe Yi Kai and Qian will be sad. In the future, maybe one day, she will forget about Luofeng Mountain. Finally, the three of them rushed all the way to the side where the car was dropped off. As a result, Sun Haolian and the others were long gone. Yi Kai and Qian almost burst into foul language. "These people are so stupid, they just drove away and told us in advance. I think Qin Feng should not have saved them back then." Really, chapter 185. The old saying is good. angry to anger. It is not that there is no waypoint with the Yi family's financial resources. Yi Kai and Qian made a phone call, and a special vehicle came to pick it up shortly. After getting on the bus, Yi Kai and Qian was still very dissatisfied. As the old saying goes, only when the tide goes out will you know who is swimming naked. Now that something happens, you can see who is more reliable. Sun Haoliang, the third grandson. If this young lady looks at him in the future, I will be changed. Sentencing. Qin Feng was amused by Yi Kai and Qian's words. It's not as exaggerated as you said. After all, they are ordinary people, and it is normal to be afraid when they encounter something beyond common sense. A normal chicken feather is a product without eggs. Qin Feng couldn't answer anymore. Yi Kai and Qian, a little girl from a family, spoke sturdy words. It was too embarrassing to continue to discuss this. After arriving in Luo City, Qin Feng accompanied the two back to Yi's villa. Your father's condition has completely recovered, and I should go too. Before Yi Yuan spoke, Yi Kai and Qian said first, stay a few more days. If you were designated as Qin Feng big brother, I wouldn't have bothered you to stay and observe, and I would definitely trust you. There's nothing to do now, just stay. I'll find a fun place, this time, without outsiders, just me and my sister, and you. Let's go shopping? No, I really have something to do. Yi Yuan spoke at this time. Kai and Qian, it's not bad that Qin Feng can stay here for a few days. Don't delay the business, Yi. Kai and Qian also knows Qin Feng's current identity. It is impossible to be idle, so he will not keep it now, but said, well then, I won't bother you two talking. Go take a bath. I feel like I'm going to get moldy. I have to say that Yi Kai and Qian is very discerning and wants to create a chance for her sister to communicate with Qin Feng alone. After Yi Kai and Qian left, Yi Yuan looked at Qin Feng as if she had a lot to say, but she really wanted to speak, but she didn't know where to start. Or Qin Feng said first, if you have a chance, you can take Kai and Qian to Dukao village to play. The scenery there is very good. You must like it. Yi Yuan was very surprised, and her pretty face was a little excited. Okay, I'll definitely go when I get a chance. But it won't cause you have any trouble, will it? What's the trouble with that? Yi Yuan blurted out. Will Yan Ziao be angry? Qin Feng fell silent. In fact, not only in Yi Yuan's eyes, but many people in China now feel that Qin Feng and Yan Ziao are a natural couple. After a while, Qin Feng said, she won't. Oh, then, that's good. Yi Yuan regretted the sudden mention of Yan Ziao, which made the atmosphere between the two is too awkward. However, since I said it, I simply continued, when you and Miss Yan get married, be sure to notify me. Qin Feng didn't know what to say for a while. At least he had never thought about getting married so far. Moreover, saying such words as Yi Yuan's ex-girlfriend always made people feel a little strange. He simply didn't answer the topic. Qin Feng waved his hand. I'm leaving. If there is anything, you can contact me again. Yi Yuan was moved. Qin Feng's words were like a promise. You know, looking at the whole of China, if you can get someone like Qin Feng to help and promise, you can probably just go crazy. Thank you. Then, goodbye. By the way, do you want me to send someone to escort you? And then, no, lines go back to the village directly. It's a little urgent. Yi Yuan didn't react at first. Shouldn't it be better to send a special car to take you to catch up? Then she reacted, with Qin Feng's ability, it is no longer a problem to rise in the wind. It is indeed much faster than the car. After the two said goodbye, Qin Feng left the Yi family. Finding a secluded corner, Qin Feng jumped up against the wind and rushed towards Dukao village. Yi Yuan looked a little sad, and when she returned to the room, she found that Yi Kai and Qian was there. Aren't you going to take a shower? What are you doing in my room? I'm not curious. What are you talking about with Qin Feng big brother? I just thought about it again. Is there a chance for the two of you to rekindle your old love? Yi Yuan smiled bitterly. What are you thinking about all day long? Although you have reached the age of falling in love, you can't always gossip like this. Sister, I don't like to hear you say that. We are sisters. I'm curious. Okay. However, between Qin Feng and I, it's impossible. Don't you understand the truth? that it's hard to get over the water. Yuan did not deliberately disguise anything in front of her own sister, and the expression on her face became more and more sad. Qian looked a little distressed and gave her sister a big hug. It's alright, don't be sad. Although the old saying goes, it's hard to get over the water, and the old saying goes, men chase women, every layer of mountains, women chase men, and every layer of yarn. Don't be afraid of that Yan Ciao, as long as the hoe swings well. No, the corner can't be digged. Yuan couldn't help rolling her eyes. Oh, this little sister, there's no one left. How did she learn such an old saying? The past is the past. You can take care of your mouth and stop talking nonsense. Well, I'm a little tired. I need to rest. You should take a shower quickly. Unwilling to continue tangled on this topic, Yuan pushed her sister out of her room involuntarily. Standing in front of the window, Yuan looked at the white clouds in the sky and sighed softly, not knowing what she was thinking. At this time, Qin Feng had returned to Dukao village. Forgotten. Qin Feng can span more than half of China's existence in minutes. At this distance, if he really wants to hurry, isn't that too fast? The huge cloud sea vortex above the village still exists, but Qin Feng's consciousness can feel that there is no real danger in the village these days. Qin Wen and others are full of motivation and constantly improve their strength. However, Qin Xiaoyu has been very anxious for the past few days and has been taking care of Qin Yu, who has been trying to fall into a coma during the defense of Kyoto. Qin Yu and several other tribesmen were stung by poisonous bees. After the poisoning, the best hospitals in Kyoto were at a loss. Qin Yu was injured when he was saving Qin Xiaoyu, and he couldn't get better, which made Qin Xiaoyu not only anxious, but also more and more guilty. The anxious Qin Xiaoyu suddenly heard Qin Wen's voice. Brother Feng is back. The look on her face instantly became pleasantly surprised. In the past few days, I was looking forward to the return of the sect master, so there must be a way to save Qin Yu. Qin Xiaoyu was already praying instinctively in her heart. What? Chapter 186, Medicine to Cure the Disease. Qin Xiaoyu hurried out the door, and after seeing Qin Wen, she asked, where is the sovereign? Brother Feng has gone to the competition arena. Huh? Qin Xiaoyu looked puzzled. Is the sect master going to retreat? What about Qin Yu and the others? Under normal circumstances, Qin Feng only goes to the competition field when he is in retreat. Qin Xiaoyu is a little flustered and feels that Qin Feng can't save Qin Yu and the others. Qin Wen immediately said, don't worry. Brother Feng asked me to come here to tell you that he went to refine medicine pills to relieve the poison of Qin Yu and several people. Qin Xiaoyu was relieved. That's good. However, the sect master will definitely need time. I'm worried that Qin Yu's body will not be able to bear it if he goes on like this. Don't worry, Brother Feng must have something in his heart. Qin Xiaoyu nodded, still a little anxious. It's just that I can't do anything now. I can only go back and continue to guard Qin Yu. For more than half an hour before and after, Qin Xiaoyu was anxiously walking and sitting in the room, and suddenly, she heard a familiar voice. How long has Qin Yu been in a coma? Qin Xiaoyu's face was full of surprise. She turned around and blurted out, Sect Master? Have you finished refining the medicinal pill so soon? In general, it will never fail, right? I thought it would take at least half a day, or even a few days, but this time was too fast, so Qin Xiaoyu couldn't help thinking about it. Qin Feng had already walked to Qin Yu's hospital bed and checked his pulse. Qin Xiaoyu just remembered the question Qin Feng asked just now and quickly replied, Sect Master, Qin Yu gradually fell into a coma the day after you left. Now, it has been at least 3 days. Qin Feng nodded, but he didn't see the specific action clearly. He already had a white medicine pill the size of a pigeon egg in his hand. The whole room was instantly filled with the fragrant smell of earth after the rain. Qin Xiaoyu's eyes brightened a little. Sect Master, is this the medicinal pill you refined? Yes. Can you save Qin Yu? This is the earth store heart pill I just refined. It shouldn't be a problem to treat Qin Yu's poison. Qin Xiaoyu let out a long sigh of relief. Speaking of which, Qin Feng's strength and talent, even if he is called the best in the world, is not an exaggeration, but he has never been very high profile. He said that the problem is not big. Qin Xiaoyu has already made up his own mind, feeling it's definitely fine. He hurriedly poured water over, and Qin Xiaoyu gave Qin Yu Zhang's Zhangzin pill. Seeing Qin Feng still standing by the bed, Qin Xiaoyu said, "Sect Master, I'll just stay here. If it works, I'll notify you as soon as possible." In Qin Xiaoyu's thinking, it takes a day or two for the medicine to work. Qin Feng smiled and spoke softly, "I'm fine, just wait and see." As a result, while the two were talking, there was a coughing sound. Qin Xiaoyu was stunned for a moment, feeling that she had hallucinations. Following, Qin Xiaoyu turned back suddenly and found that the cough was really made by Qin Yu, who had been in a coma for more than 3 days. Qin Yu, Qin Yu. After shouting twice, Qin Yu opened his eyes and looked slightly confused. Only then did Qin Xiaoyu realize that after a few minutes of work, the blue look on Qin Yu's face after being poisoned had receded and his face had returned to normal ruddy, thinking of opening his eyes and waking up at this time. Even after Qin Xiaoyu became an immortal cultivator, she had seen too many strange things. At this time, she was extremely shocked, and the effect of the medicine was too fast. At this moment, Qin Wen's voice sounded outside the door. "Brother Feng, Qin and the others have woken up. How is Qin Yu?" After speaking, Qin Wen walked in, saw Qin Yu wake up, and immediately smiled. "Qin Yu is also awake. Brother Feng, the medicinal pill you made is amazing. I thought I had to wait, but I didn't expect it to work so quickly." Qin Feng's expression was very indifferent, as if he had been accustomed to other people's surprises invisibly, which was a routine operation. "Qin Yu, how do you feel?" Qin Yu can already answer. "Sect Master, I feel much better, but my strength is still worse." "That's good. Don't worry, your vigor will recover soon, and your strength will not be damaged. Not sure, there will be unexpected gains." Qin Yu was stunned for a moment, and then he reacted immediately. It seems that the medicine pill refined by the sect master can not only detoxify, but also improve his own strength. After laughing, Qin Yu said, "Thank you, Sovereign. Don't say these foreign words." Qin Wen and Qin Yu have always had a good relationship. They have been very worried in recent days. At this time, seeing that Qin Yu has recovered somewhat, he grinned slyly. "You are lucky. This is a blessing in disguise. I'm envious of the whole thing. If I had known, I should have let that poisonous bee sting." Originally, because of the injuries of Qin Yu and several other immortals cultivators in the Qin family, the clan members were more or less worried recently. At this time, the poison has been lifted, so are they all relieved? Several people were chatting and laughing, and Qin Hongfu hurried over. "Hello, Sovereign. Fourth uncle doesn't have to be so polite. Qin Yu is already healed. Sect Master, the medicinal pill you have refined is too powerful. If you want me to say, it is not an exaggeration to call it an elixir." Qin Wen couldn't help but said, "Fourth uncle, your flattering skills are really perfect. Go away. Talk nonsense. I'm telling the truth, okay?" Qin Hongfu's face was full of righteousness. Qin Feng asked with a smile, "Come to me. What's the matter?" "Sect Master, Wuhua has been waiting for you, saying that there is something to do. At that time, you were busy refining medicine pills, so I didn't let him bother." Qin Feng's expression did not change, and he felt a little helpless in his heart. Sure enough, after returning to the village, it was rare to have free time. All kinds of things would come one after another, and there was no way to do it. Who made the whole of China now an eventful autumn? "Okay, let's go. I'll go see Wuhua." Qin Hongfu accompanied Qin Feng and soon arrived in the living room. Although Wuhua was anxious in his heart, he was very measured. Knowing that Qin Feng was saving his own clan, he would not disturb him, and had been waiting with peace of mind. When he saw Qin Feng walking in, he quickly got up to meet him. "Sect Master Qin, you are back. Qin Yu, how are they?" "Thank you, Mr. Wu, for caring. They are alright." Wu, who exhaled and couldn't help but gestured with a thumb. "Sect Master Qin, you are a god among gods. Qin Yu and the others are fine, but it's great. Now, I can be relieved." If the experts from the Jingdu hospital knew that the poison had been eliminated, they would have dropped their jaws in shock. Qin Feng smiled, his expression still light. Mr. Wu doesn't need to say these compliments. You came to me. Is there something? Wu Hua rubbed his hands together, looking a little embarrassed. Qin Feng is a little helpless. Is it difficult? What's the trouble? Otherwise, Wu Hua would not be so entangled. Chapter 187 No Leisure. Wu Hua exhaled and said, I know that Sect Master Qin is a happy person. If he has anything to say, he will say it directly. I mentioned to you last time that people in other areas want us to provide assistance to deal with alien beasts. Oh, you did tell me about it. Things have been negotiated and some have already agreed. This may be a bit unfortunate for you. It stands to reason that you or the Qin family should make the decision in person. I will say something here first. I'm sorry. If Sect Master Qin thinks it's inappropriate, I'll report it to the top. Qin Feng understood and smiled, not caring. It's alright. Anyway, I have already decided to make a move. Just agreed first. Wu Hua looked a little surprised and said excitedly, thank you very much. Sect Master Qin, you are very righteous. By the way, not only what I mean, but also said above. If you and anyone in the Qin family have any requirements, please say as soon as possible. As long as you can do it, we will do our best to mediate and give you a satisfactory answer. Qin Feng still had a smile on his face and waved his hand. I really don't need anything for the time being. If there is anything in the future, I will find you. Mr. Wu. Okay, Sect Master Qin, don't be polite to me. In fact, I have already asked people to do some things, and the plaque of the protecting family has already been done. Sect Master Qin, what time do you think is the right time to send it over? And, do you need to advertise it? It's not necessary. What the Qin family did was just doing their duty. Sect Master Qin, you're too polite to say that. The Qin family fought bravely when they were defending the capital, and several people were injured and almost lost their lives. If they didn't say anything, I'm afraid outsiders wouldn't be able to see it. I feel that I'm too harsh on the hero. Qin Hongfu said at this time, Sect Master, if you don't want to ask about these things, you can leave them to me. Qin Feng knew in his heart that he might not care about these things and reputation. However, other clansmen, as well as some elders, still take these honors very seriously. Lose. Nodding his head, Qin Feng said, that's a lot of work. Fourth uncle. Qin Hongfu's face instantly burst into a smile. It's not hard work. It's my honor to die for the Qin family. Speaking of which, Qin Hongfu liked this kind of showy thing, and it was just right for him to meet Wu Hua. Mr. Wu, which regions and countries need the Qin family to deal with alien beasts? You can also tell my fourth uncle specifically, and then I will arrange the manpower. Okay, things are not in a hurry. Everything is based on your sweet ability. While she was talking, Qinzu hurried over when there were outsiders. Even if it was his own younger brother, Qinzu called out, Sect Master. What's the matter, sister? Qin Feng didn't care about this and looked at his sister Qinzu. Well, Qin Yanghe has come to the village. Or should it be called Mr. Patum? Qin Hongfu's face darkened. That scum still has a face to come back? I remember last time he called and said he was attacked by a strange beast. Why didn't the alien beast eat that B**********? The first time Qin Yanghe came back, he was too stubborn. He was of American nationality, and he kept his mouth shut and looked down on the Qin family. In other words, Qin Feng was too lazy to answer. According to the thoughts of other clansmen, Qin Yanghe should have been taught a hard lesson long ago. Qinzu didn't like to see Qin Yanghe either, and said he was waiting outside the village and said he wanted to see you. Do you still need to see him? The meaning is obvious. Qinzu also hopes that his brother will let Qin Yanghe get out of the way. Seeing such a person will only make people feel sick. While talking, Qin's father, Qin Hongbo, came in. Xiaofeng, that Qin Yanghe is kneeling outside the village. It's not the way to go on like this. Maybe outsiders can see jokes. Otherwise, you should go and see. Qinzu and Qin Hongfu were startled and kneeled outside. It seems that this time, Mr. Pitum, it is not like he is coming to show off his power and make slander. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng said, let's meet and talk first. Although Qin Yanghei is not welcome, in fact, Qin Feng does not want to meet, but, in the final analysis, there are 3 brothers such as Qin Yangshao, who are Qin Feng's elders. Let Qin Yanghei kneel at the outer gate of the village. Qin Yangshao's 3 brothers will have a dull face when they find out. Soon, Qin Feng and others arrived outside the village. Sure enough, Qin Yanghei was crying and kneeling outside the village. After seeing Qin Feng, he was so excited, as if he had seen his own father. Sect. Master, Patriarch, you can figure it out. I thought I would never have a chance to see you alive. Qin Yanghei was so excited that he was about to pounce, as if he wanted to give Qin Feng a bear hug. Qin Wen stopped in front and pouted. Hey, isn't this Mr. Pitum from the United States? Our small fairy village does not have your suzerain and patriarch. You distinguished guest from the United States, what are you doing here in our remote mountain? Qin Yanghei was about to cry. Well, I'm doing business in the United States, and I can't do anything about joining the nationality there. After all, I'm also a descendant of China, and my heart is still the heart of China. The blood flowing in my bones is still the blood of our Qin family. Qin Wen pouted again. You mustn't say that. The sun hasn't come out in the west. Why does Mr. Pitum have to look like he's recognizing his ancestors? Qin Heoksu said at this time. Oh, you don't have to think about it to know. This must be some kind of difficulty. I want to use a sect master, so I pretended to be a grandson there. Everyone is not fools. In fact, their thoughts are similar to Qin Heo's. Qin Yanghei must want to ask someone to do things. Otherwise, he was so high profile last time, and this time, he won't be so humble. Qin Yanghei was really shameless, and immediately said, I'm not pretending to be a grandson, I'm a real grandson. After all, I'm also a descendant of the Qin family. I've never forgotten this, and I'll never forget it in my life. What he said was sincere and sincere. If it wasn't for what happened last time, it is estimated that many people would have believed it. Qin Feng hadn't spoken yet. At this moment, a loud shout came. Qin Yanghei, you be asterisk 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 D. How dare you come back? Today, I have to kill you. Everyone was stunned, although they didn't look down on Qin Yanghei, but because he was an immortal cultivator, he really didn't bother to deal with such a cowardly thing as Qin Yanghei. I don't know who it is. The resentment is so great, it sounds like the rhythm of killing Qin Yanghei directly. Qin Yanghei was originally cowardly. Hearing the loud shout, his face was pale and his whole body was shaking. Qin Feng couldn't help but think, no, Qin Yanghei wouldn't be like the Kaolianan in Luo City, and he would be scared to pee. Chapter 188. Today is not what it used to be. Qin Yanghei looked back subconsciously, and found that the person who spoke was none other than Brother Qin Yangshao. The last time Qin Yanghei returned to Dukao village, it happened that the 3 Qin Yangshao brothers were in retreat, and could not meet them. However, all 3 of them had heard of what happened that day, and they were angry with such a scumbag brother. Later, Qin Yanghei called for help in the United States, saying that he was attacked by a strange beast, and thought he died there. Although they were somewhat uncomfortable, the 3 Qin Yangshao brothers felt that it was fine, and they would die. Who knows? Qin Yanghei came back today. Big brother. Don't call me eldest brother. I don't have that blessing, and I also have an American brother. If you don't stay in your American country, what are you doing here in Dukao village? Get out of here immediately. Don't, big brother. I still have the blood of our Qin family in my bones. Qin Yanghei didn't say this, but when the words fell, Qin Yangshao was full of anger. Do you still know that you have the blood of the Qin family in your bones? Abba. He raised his hand and slapped Qin Yanghei without any suspense. Qin Yanghei's chubby body was like a kite with a broken string and was slapped directly out. Boom. His body fell to the ground and Qin Yanghei cried for a while. To be honest, this is already Qin Yangshao's mercy. With the strength of an immortal cultivator, if he does his best, it is estimated that Qin Yanghei will not have a chance to cry, and he will have to report directly to the Lord of Hell. Qin Wen said at this time, Uncle, what are you doing? They are Americans, so don't make a dispute, it won't look good. Qin Yangshao's face was at hen, and he shouted loudly, even if I kill him, let's see who dares to intervene. A scum who has forgotten his ancestors still has the face to live. Before the words were finished, Qin Yang stood up crying and crawled over to cry while hugging Qin Yang Shao's thigh. Big brother, kill me. I'm really wrong. I'm with my parents. Just in time. You kill me and let me see my parents. Everyone was speechless for a while. Qin Yang was really shameless. He was so old that he brought up his long dead parents to talk about things. The people present were all from the Qin family. On the contrary, it seems that others are too mean. At this time, Qin Yanglian and Qin Yangji also rushed over, and the expressions on their faces were a little ugly. Second brother, third brother, you are all here. I feel uncomfortable and regret it. I worked hard abroad alone, and I joined the American nationality for the sake of survival. Who doesn't want to come back beautifully? Last time, I may speak it's too much, but it's all unintentional. If you don't forgive me, just kill me. In this way, I can be considered a fallen leaf and return to my roots. When he was talking, Qin Yang was very sincere, crying with snot and tears. Although the faces of the three brothers are not good looking, what can they do in the face of this younger brother? It is impossible to really kill him. For a while, several people fell into silence. Although Qin Wen and others disliked Qin Yang, they also had to be concerned about other people's face. They just curled their lips secretly and didn't say much. Qin Feng said slowly, okay, in a large audience, this is not what it looks like. If you have something to say, get up and say it. Hearing this, Qin Yang immediately climbed up the pole and quickly said, Patriarch, you are really a lot of adults. From a young age, I saw that you were destined to be extraordinary sooner or later. Qin Hongfu has always said compliments, but at this time, he couldn't stand Qin Yang's forcible flattery. Really a fairy village. Who doesn't know? Qin Feng used to feel that he was babbling about things about cultivating immortals, and most of them felt that they should go to the hospital to see them, but they didn't expect anything to happen. It's just that other people basically think about it in their hearts, but they won't say it. Qin Yang has said Qin Feng face to face more than once. He has been poor and sour all his life. He also reprimanded Qin Feng because of sarcasm, and the relationship with Qin Hongbo has become very rigid. Now that it is possible to say such a thing, it is shameless to the extreme. Qin Feng will definitely not eat this set, and said lukewarmly, no need to say more nonsense, you must have something to do when you go back to Dukao village? Qin Yang rubbed his hands, thought about it, and said, I have nothing to do, I just came back to apologize, and I feel homesick. Okay, since there's nothing wrong, you've apologized now, and you've seen Dukao village, so why don't you go? I'm still busy, so I won't be here to waste time with you. Qin Feng turned around after he finished speaking about to leave. Qin Yang panicked instantly. He just pretended to be forcibly. He felt that it was not good to say it when he came up. As a result, Qin Feng did not give him a chance to pretend. PFFT. Qin Yang knelt down. Patriarch, I have something important. Please save my life. Qin Feng's expression remained the same. Knowing that Qin Yang came this time, there must be nothing good. You're in good health. What can you say to save your life? Patriarch, it's like this. My family is still in the United States. Speaking of which, my son and daughter are also your sisters and big brothers. They didn't live up to their expectations and failed to become immortal cultivators. It could be dangerous. I hope the Patriarch, even if you don't take action yourself, send someone to help and destroy those alien beasts, otherwise, I'll be dead. Qin Feng hadn't spoken yet. At this time, Qin Wen couldn't help but say, how fresh, shouldn't you ask your own country about this? The United States said a while ago that it has developed a secret weapon to deal with alien beasts, which is much more powerful than us. Where is the need for us to take action? You say, isn't that right, Mr. Pitum? Hey, those bastards in the United States are just bragging. They can't deal with alien beasts at all. Go on, we don't know how many innocent people will die in the invasion of alien beasts. Patriarch, we can't control others. But, my family, counted, are also Qin family. You can't die without help, please. Help, in Fact, as early as on the internet, some people have always suspected that the so-called research of secret weapons in the United States is nonsense. Now, listening to Qin Yanghe's words just now, this matter has almost been hammered. Seeing that Qin Feng didn't answer, Qin Yanghe turned to Qin Yangshao again. Brother, please help me. For the sake of our family, please help me. Qin Yangshao's expression is a little complicated. Although Qin Yanghe is not a gadget, he didn't provide help last time, and he felt a little sorry. Now, he is asking for it. If he refuses again, then it doesn't seem appropriate. After thinking about it in his heart, Qin Yangshao looked at Qin Feng. Although he hadn't opened his mouth yet, the others already knew in their hearts that they were going to ask for help. Chapter 189. The abacus is very loud. Qin Yangshao was about to speak, but unexpectedly, Wu Hua, who came over, suddenly said, Sect Master Qin, I'm an outsider. It stands to reason that I shouldn't speak on this occasion. However, there is one thing that I must make clear to you. In the final analysis, the identities of representatives of Wu Hua are different. Qin Feng will give some respect, nodding. Mr. Wu, don't be polite. If you have something to say, just say it directly. Sect Master Qin, you don't know, since the day the alien beast invaded the United States, until now, we haven't received any news from any channel seeking help from China. After Wu Hua finished speaking, he didn't say more. Everyone pondered for a while, and some had already reacted and blurted out, oh, this beautiful country is shameless. I thought that Mr. Pitum really knew he was wrong. Dare to be honest, he was still doing things for the Americans. Qin Wen couldn't react, and asked blankly, what are you talking about? Why can't I understand it? The United States is still quite fierce. I'm still a little impressed by trying not to support it. Qin Ya glanced at her brother helplessly. You're stupid, you're still not happy. Can't you understand this matter? The United States did not ask for official help, but let Mr. Pitum find the patriarch by virtue of his identity as a member of the Qin family. That means, yes, let's take the initiative to help. Startled for a while, Qin Wen finally reacted. I'm sorry, I finally understand. Then the United States is just standing up again. We really want to help, just like rushing to curry favor with others. Not sure. The United States also said that we owe the initiative. If you want to help, you don't have to pay a little price. It's such a free whoring. What a godsend. Qin Hongfu has experienced many things in the business field, so he said, if it's just like this, it's not too much, but I guess it's not that simple. The patriarch really wants to send someone to the United States to help Qin Yanghe. Once he fights with alien beasts, the United States is likely to fight back and say that it is in their country to cause trouble. When the time comes, we will directly detain our people and force us to do some things we don't want to do. Qin Wen was furious. I mean, it's so dark. Don't tell me it's really possible to make a shameless thing like the United States. Qin Yanghe, no, Pitum, you have no kindness. You dare to sell miserable things. Ask set up for brother Feng. Qin Yanghe's face was pale, and he quickly waved his hand. I didn't think so. I just hope to save my family, and everything is speculation, and it may not happen. Nonsense. Qin Yangshao kicked Qin Yanghe away. At this time, I'm really blind, and I don't know what I've done to make a younger brother like you. Don't you understand that Sect Master Qin Feng is now the lifeblood of our entire Qin family? If something goes wrong, the entire Qin family will be wiped out. You're still thinking about eating inside and out, and trying to plot against the Sect Master. Today, I have to kill you. Now, Qin Yangshao is really angry. He didn't think so much about it just now. Now, he's a little scared. If something happened to be detained, at that time, even if he apologized with death, he couldn't be sorry for the entire Qin family. Seeing that the eldest brother was really angry, Qin Yanghe was flustered, and quickly got up and said, brother, I really didn't know. At that time, there was an invasion of foreign animals in the state of Miami, and I was taken away by the personnel of the United States. They took my blood, and did a lot of research. As a result, nothing was found. Woohoo said at this time, I understand, the people from the United States, because there are too many immortal cultivators in the Qin family, want to study Qin Yanghei's body, to see what they can find, but Qin Yanghei doesn't seem to have that talent at all. Qin Yanghei grimaced and thought to himself, if only I had that talent, I wouldn't have to kick around like a dog every day. Afterwards, they didn't let me see my family, and they were arranged in a city where strange beasts appeared, and I might encounter danger every day. I had no choice but to come back from there, just to ask the patriarch to watch me. Also Qin point for the sake of my family, help point I didn't even think of the things you said, Qin. Yang Shao's face was as hen, and he said coldly, B*******D. Do you think I'll still listen to your nonsense? I'm not killing your unfilial son for your parents today. Seeing that Qin Yang Shao's eyes were red with anger, he really meant to kill Qin Yanghei. Qin Feng said, Uncle, listening to what he said just now, it's not a lie, it's just that someone was taking advantage of it invisibly, so don't do it again. As the patriarch and suzerain, Qin Feng definitely couldn't watch Qin Yang Shao do something to his own younger brother. The wishful thinking of the United States is very good point. However, our Qin family members are not fools, and they will not meddle in their own business. There is no need to discuss this matter. We will not participate in any elimination of differences on the United States side in the plan of the beast. Qin Yanghei's face was pale, knowing Qin Feng's words. Even if he knelt here until the end of the world, it would be useless. Don't mention the regret in my heart. In the end, it's because I joined the US nationality that I'm so passive. Otherwise, with the unity of the Qin family, it is impossible to sit back and ignore it. Unfortunately, there is no regret medicine in this world. Even if it is regrets the green intestines, it is useless. Qin Feng was too lazy to continue wasting time on this matter and turned to leave. Patriarch, please help me and my family, Qin Yanghei was still shouting over there, but was stopped by Qin Yang Shao. Shut up, whatever cause you plant, you will get the same result. Now, there is still a face shouting here, rolling, Dukao village, you are no longer welcome back as a scum. For the rest, Qin Yang Shao's brothers naturally negotiated. Qin Feng had already returned to the village. Several clansmen who had been stung and poisoned by the poisonous bee had almost fully recovered, and they came to express their gratitude to Qin Feng. Everyone is a family, so don't be so polite. Qin Feng comforted the crowd a few words, and was ready to go home. For a long time, the family didn't have time to sit and have a meal together. If you don't go back, it is estimated that the mother will have to serve the family. You must know that the mother does not care whether Qin Feng is the patriarch or the suzerain. In her eyes, Qin Feng will always be a young son. Qin Feng was walking home when he suddenly heard a familiar ding ding sound in his mind. Obviously, the system has more information to release. The next moment, Qin Feng's face suddenly changed. You must know that Qin Feng, who has always been calm, had such an obvious emotional change for the first time. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190, Terrifying News. Ding, in the near future, the alien world will overlap with the real world, and there will be powerful alien beasts. The real doomsday is coming. There have been countless facts that have proved the accuracy of the information released by the system. Although Qin Feng felt that what he just said was a bit bizarre, he knew that it would definitely happen. System, can you be more specific? What does the so-called coincidence of the two mean? After asking, Qin Feng waited for a while, but there was no response there. System, I'll go. Qin Feng understands that the system of AOGO ignores him again. Deliberately want to scold him. The problem is, even scolding again is meaningless. It will only make the system more temperamental. Qin Feng could only endure it, thinking to himself, and savoring it. The real end is coming. The weight of this sentence is too heavy. Although Qin Feng reminded the clansman several times not to be complacent, there are still greater dangers waiting for the clansman in the follow-up, but Qin Feng instinctively felt that, as long as he was there, basically everything was under control. However, listening to the meaning of the system now, I'm afraid that the next thing is the real difficulty in terror. If there is more news, it would be good to judge, but now I think about it, I have no clue. What are you thinking about? When Qin Feng was meditating, he heard a familiar voice with a unique sweetness and looked up. It wasn't Yan Ziao. Who else could it be? White waisted top, white coat, and white cropped trousers. Tilted his head slightly, and with a smile, all the beautiful scenery around him was eclipsed. Perhaps it was because Yanzi became an immortal cultivator. With the continuous improvement of her strength, she originally had a refined temperament. Now, she is even more like a fairy descending to earth, and her beauty is breathtaking. Qin Feng didn't know when it started, but after seeing Yan Ziao, his heart instinctively calmed down a bit, and responded with a smile. It's nothing, just remembered a little thing. It's not that Qin Feng is deliberately hiding something from Yan Ziao, but that there is no more news about the overlapping of the world. Saying it will only add to the troubles, and it is meaningless. Let's think about it later. I thought it would take a few minutes for you to come back, but I didn't expect you to come back slowly. Is this trip going well? Everything is going well. Others are looking forward to Qin Feng's return because they feel that they have a backbone. Moreover, after seeing Qin Feng, they will instinctively feel happy. Only Yan Ziao is worried about whether Qin Feng goes out and whether everything goes well. Maybe this is the unique delicacy of girls. Think about it. As long as it goes well. Aunt asked me to come to you just now to see if you want to go back for lunch. Oh, I'm about to go back. Let's go. Let's go together. Okay. Yan Ziao responded with a smile, and the two walked to Qin Feng's house side by side. How have you been in the village recently? It's been good. Yan Ziao smiled, but then said, I have to leave in a few days. Qin Feng was startled and asked, is something wrong? In the few days you left, I thought about it. What you said at the beginning was right. No matter what happens in the future, but we should still work hard to maintain the proper pace of life. 2 days ago, there was a particularly famous director invitation. I read the script, thought about it, and prepared to go to work. Qin Feng nodded and responded, that's fine. Just do what you like. You must know that Yan Ziao is absolutely top notch right now, and which crew doesn't want to invite him? First, he has unparalleled popularity and fame. Furthermore, as Yan Ziao is an immortal cultivator, the crew is equal to inviting a great god. If there is any danger, you don't need to panic. By the way, someone else asked me, are you interested in developing in this area? Qin Feng was stunned and asked back, which aspect are you talking about? Wouldn't it be a job like yours, and also go to film? Yes. Someone wants to use the theme of the invasion of alien beasts to shoot film and television. If they can invite you, it is definitely a dream. Qin Feng smiled bitterly and waved his hand. I really have no plans for that. Yan Ziao smiled like a flower, and it seemed that she had known for a long time that such an answer would be the answer. Of course I know you won't agree. I have already refused for you. You have a lot of important things to do. How can you waste time on such a thing? It's not a waste of time as you said, but, as you said at the time, everyone tries their best to do what they like. I don't have that talent, and I don't like it very much. By the way, when you go to work, be sure to pay more attention to safety, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Yan Ziao smiled like a crescent moon. She could hear the concern from Qin Feng's words. That was enough. Don't worry, have you forgotten that, although I'm not as powerful as you, I'm a serious immortal cultivator, and can protect myself. While the two were talking, they had already arrived at Qin Feng's house. The mother Wuzi who was waiting there. The puppy at home was listless. After seeing Qin Feng, she didn't even roll her eyelids. Qin Feng asked casually, Mom, what's wrong with a little confused white dog? I'm hungry. Qin Feng was a little, then. Why don't you give it something to eat? Maybe it's sick. I don't look like it's sick. Qin Feng's eyes are so poisonous now, not to mention that he can see through the internal organs at a glance. At least he can tell the disease. Still not sick. I'm not sick, but I don't want to feed it. In your sister's words, a single dog is not worthy of food. Qin Feng almost covered his forehead and asked the heavens speechlessly, what's the matter? Is it really okay for my mother to say such a thing? Yan Xiao didn't express her opinion. She just said obediently, Aunt, I'm here to eat again. Is there anything I can help you with? She ignored her own son's answer, but when she looked at Yan Xiao, her mother Wu Zhu smiled instantly. Yao, look at what you said. What is rubbing rice? Aunt is happy when you come to eat every day. You don't have to do anything, just sit there. By the way, there are fruits and melon seeds on the table. There are also hawthorns that you like to eat. Hurry up and sit down. Thank you, Aunt. You hurt me the most. I have to say that Yan Xiao, who is smiling, is harmless to humans and animals, and is extremely beautiful and very attractive. Don't you deserve to be hurt. Don't say thank you. It's too outrageous. Qin Feng was about to walk over to eat some snacks. As a result, his mother's face sank. You go to the kitchen to serve dishes. A big man is too embarrassed to sit there and pretend to be an uncle? Hurry up, or get out of here. Okay, I'll go right now. Qin Feng was extremely helpless and couldn't help but complain. Mom, Yan Xiao and I, which one is my biological? Chapter 191, The Humble Family Status. Qin Feng was extremely aggrieved at this meal. His mother, Wu Zhu, served Yan Xiao with all kinds of vegetables, and he had nothing to do with him at all. Even his father smiled at Yan Xiao. As for the old sister Qinzu, it is even more unreliable to expect her to take care of herself. Yan Xiao likes this atmosphere very much, and her mouth is also very sweet. Aunt, the food you are sitting is so delicious. I really want to eat it for the rest of my life. There was surprise on Wu Zhu's face, and there was still a bit of helplessness, which was very complicated. Qinzu couldn't help but be happy at this time. Yao, you rewrite. Some of the hints are too obvious. However, my mother definitely wants you to stay here forever, but you probably won't be able to eat this kind of food. Why? Yan Xiao was at a loss. This meal was specially packaged and brought back from the restaurant by my parents. Okay, Yan Xiao finally understood. No wonder Wu Zhu's expression was so embarrassing. I originally wanted to please Wu Zhu, but it turned out that it was obviously the wrong direction. Qin Feng said with a smile, my family's cooking is definitely a history of blood and tears. My dad was oppressed a lot, and he turned around the pot every day. He was helpless and his talent was limited. The food he made was really bad. As for my mother, last time I ate it, she cooks and I go to kindergarten. Qin's father Qin Hongbo sighed very much. There's no way the family can eat such a meal. It's true that Xiaoan is here today. Wu Zhu was unhappy and placed the chopsticks on the table with a clatter. Do you two eat it? If you don't eat it, you can stay where it is cool. Qin Hongbo was like a mouse when he saw a cat, so he didn't dare to speak anymore. Wu Zhu was still dissatisfied and squinted. Qin Feng, why are you dissatisfied? I do. Thank you mom for caring about me. Which ear did you hear that I care about you? Wu Zhu was a little confused by what she said. Qin Feng said solemnly, you didn't say it just now. Let me stay where it's cool. I must be afraid that I'll be hot. It's okay. I'm eating. It's not hot. I think it's cool here. Yan Xiao couldn't help laughing. She only learned today that it was a concern to stay where it was cool. Qinzu pouted and blurted out, look at how cowardly you are. Aren't you cowardly? I remember you said 2 days ago that mom is getting lazy now. Qinzu was in a hurry immediately. Although they are brothers and sisters, I will sue you for slandering you for talking nonsense like this. Mom, don't listen to him to stir up differences. I'm your little padded jacket. How can you say such a rebellious thing? Yao, testify for me. Do I tell you that my mother is good or good in front of you all day? Yan Xiao was a little helpless, fighting with gods. How could he be involved in this little devil? But Qinzu said so. What can Yan Xiao do? She can only smile and nod. Yes, Aunt. Sister Zhu says hello to you all day. Wu Zhu snorted coldly. It's almost the same. I finally have a little conscience. Yayo, don't listen to them making a fool of yourself. Just eat more if you like. Okay, aunt. When it came to Yan Ziao, Wu Zhu was cloudy and sunny again. Very sunny. Qin Feng asked Kangshan speechlessly. The old sister is still too cunning. She knows how to use Yan Ziao, but unfortunately, my mother still eats this. During the rest of the mealtime, Qin Hongbo and Qin Feng did not dare to say a word, for fear of being reprimanded again. Point on the contrary, Yan Ziao, mother and sister had a very happy chat. Point. After eating and drinking tea, Wu Zhu asked, Yao, what do you think of Dukao village? Do you still like it here? Very well, aunt. Of course I like it here. That's good. If you like it, just stay here. The two brothers and sisters are busy all day long without seeing anyone. If you want me to tell you, you don't have to live outside anymore, and the house is spacious. I'll just clean up the room and you live. Just come in. Qin Zhu couldn't help but interject at this time. Mom, are you too impatient? Is it appropriate for Yao to live in now? If I say it's appropriate, it's appropriate. What do you care about? Seeing her mother glance over, Qin Zhu admitted that she was faster than Qin Feng and immediately responded, okay, it's okay if you say it's appropriate. When turning to Yan Ziao, Wu Zhu became full of smiles again. Yao, do you think this is okay? Yan Ziao pondered for a while, but there was still a unique sweetness in her voice. Aunt, of course I hope to be with you more, but in 2 days, I have to leave. You are now cleaning up your room. It's too much trouble. There's no need for that. Before the words were finished, Wu Zhu stood up with a direct exclamation and glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng was startled and quickly said, Mom, I didn't even say a word. Why are you looking at me like that? Did you make Yao angry? That's why Yao has to leave. Oh, I see. Your sister told me that you won't be allowed to go. You have to see that ex-girlfriend. Now, that makes Yao angry. I see you. Qin Zhu hurriedly said, Mom, don't say a word. If I want to say it, can you stop me? Qin Zhu touched her forehead helplessly. I really couldn't stop this. Wu Zhu has continued to say to Yan Ziao, Yao, don't think too much. It's all old huangli. I can't count how many years ago. I guess that woman will have soy sauce now. Don't worry. I'm a mother. I will never let Qin Feng has nothing to do with that woman anymore. Yan Ziao's pretty face was a little surprised. Looking at Wu Zhu's eyes, she thought it was Yan Ziao who was still angry. Qin Feng, quickly express your stance and make it clear. Are you sure it has nothing to do with that woman? Mom, what are you talking about all of a sudden? Qin Feng's expression was extremely helpless. You've done such a bad thing, and you're still afraid of me saying it? Let you make a statement. Where can there be so much nonsense? Okay, I'll make a statement. Wu Zhu stared at Qin Feng with a look of anger and indifference. What? About your position? This is the end? At least you have to swear. Don't fool me. Yan Ziao said at this time. Aunt, don't think about it. I'm not angry. The more you say that, the more angry you are. It's Qin Feng's fault for this matter. What the hell is this kid doing? Qin Feng couldn't bear it anymore and asked Yan Ziao, when did you know what I went out of the village to do 2 days ago? Yan Ziao answered honestly, I didn't know until I heard from aunt just now. What ex-girlfriend are you going to meet? The look on Wu Zhu's face instantly became embarrassing. Well, she was talking too much. Chapter 192. It's easy to think too much. Qin Zhu sighed helplessly. Mom, I told you to stop talking, but you just didn't listen. Wu Zhu blurted out. Then you won't stop me again. Heaven and earth conscience. Can I stop it? Well, it's so embarrassing now. But Yao, what are you talking about? Qin Feng and that ex-girlfriend are definitely impossible. Don't think about it. Yan Ziao pursed her lips and smiled and said, I didn't think much of it. That's fine. It's still Yao who knows the book and is reasonable. After speaking, Wu Zhu glared at Qin Feng again. After all, it's all your fault. If you don't go, nothing will happen. Qin Feng was completely speechless. He could blame himself for anything, and there was no reason for it. The problem is that Qin Feng really didn't have the courage to argue with his mother. Anyway, he fought back and forth, but he couldn't win, and he was easily suppressed by his mother ruthlessly. I just did a little help along the way. The most important thing is to find a way to relieve Qin Yu and others from being poisoned. I didn't think much about it, and I didn't have anything to do. Instead, I asked you to say that, as if something really happened. It's okay. Yao, why are you leaving? Are you not happy in Ducal Village? No, aren't. I'm very happy here. However, I still have work to do. When I'm done, I'll definitely come to see you. Woo. Zehu breathed a sigh of relief. Oh, it turned out to be a matter of work. Aunt was startled. He thought Qin Feng, this stinky boy, was provoking you. Aunt, really not. Qin Feng helped me a lot. That's what this kid should do. The girl's house is for petting. Qin Feng, don't forget to send Yao off later. At that time, she will leave the village and prepare some special products to bring. I heard no. I see, Mom. After drinking tea and chatting for a while, Yan Xiao got up and left. Qin Feng naturally had to send it off. When the two were walking on the road, Yan Xiao seemed to ask casually, is there any misunderstanding between you and your ex-girlfriend that led to the breakup? I haven't heard you talk about her before. Hey, it's all in the past, and it's not interesting to say it again. It's not a misunderstanding, it's just inappropriate. I went this time because her father had a strange disease and was dying. Yan Xiao's pretty face always had a faint smile on her face, which made Zuoju's temperament a little more gentle and beautiful. Then, her father's illness is alright. The reason why Qin Feng has always been good to Yan Xiao is that this little girl is really kind-hearted and instinctively cares about the patient's condition first. It's alright. That's good. By the way, I have heard that for a few days, the Qin family, including you, may go abroad to kill alien beasts. At that time, you must pay more attention to the danger. Don't worry, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm going out this time. I have to work for a while. Can I wear the ring you gave me? Qin Feng didn't think much about it at all, nodded and said, of course, it was originally given to you. Besides, it is considered a listed immortal weapon. If you wear it, if you encounter danger, it will be a little safer. If there is anything that can't be solved, go to when the time comes. You can contact me. Okay, it's fine if you don't mind the trouble. How come? Yan Xiao pursed her lips and smiled. In a trance, the flowers were blooming quietly, so beautiful that people were dazzled. Go back and rest. I still have something to deal with. Okay, you should also pay more attention to your body. Qin Feng and Yan Xiao waved goodbye and went to Qin Hangfu again to ask if nothing else happened in the village during the time they went out. Immediately, Qin Feng returned home and meditated, which was both a practice and a rest. 2 days later, Yan Xiao left Ducal Village. Soon, the news that Yan Xiao was preparing to shoot a movie again spread quickly on the internet. There is no way. Now Yan Xiao's reputation is too big. The investment company also wants to use Yan Xiao's fame to promote. I'm looking forward to it. Queen Yan has a new movie. I thought that if I became a cultivator, Goddess Yan would no longer be involved in the entertainment industry. Goddess Yan has always been very low-key. She has never competed in the circle. She has made a lot of literary films. Later, she became the #1 female star of Wuda University. It was a step by step, and she must love this job. Yes, Goddess Yan is not the same as those who rely on all kinds of careful thoughts to rise to the top. When the time comes, she will support whatever she says. I'm all thinking, will Goddess Yan's movie set a new box office record for Huaxia? And I'm looking forward to it. There was still a heated discussion on the internet. In the afternoon of the same day, Yan Xiao was interviewed. Those reporters saw Yan Xiao wearing a ring on her ring finger. Although they couldn't tell what brand it was very delicate. Don't forget, this is an immortal soldier, and the feeling it gives is of course different. As a result, those reporters went crazy straight away. The meaning of the ring was so unusual. When it spread out, it would definitely explode. Who wouldn't want to dig out deeper news and information as soon as possible? Goddess Yan, does it have any special meaning to see you wearing a ring? Who gave the ring? Are you still single, or does it mean that you have entered the stage of love? The reporters scrambled to ask questions, but Yan Xiao didn't see any panic in her expression and said generously and decently, I still hope that everyone will pay more attention to the news of the movie itself. The ring was given by a friend of mine. It does have a special meaning, but it is not convenient to say more about other specific things for the time being, so don't ask. Although, Yan Xiao made some responses, telling him not to ask any more questions, it just couldn't stop it. Miss Yan, please reveal a little more. Can we expect that Miss Yan will make an official announcement soon? Goddess Yan, I'm also your most loyal fan now. Did the ring come from Qin Feng, Sect Master Qin? Let's respond. Is that ring related to Sect Master Qin Feng? Yan Xiao just smiled and did not respond anymore. The Yi sisters, for various reasons, have been following the news of Yan Xiao. After seeing the video of Yan Xiao's interview, Yi Kai and Qian almost jumped 3 feet high. It's too much. It's too much. This woman is too scheming, isn't it? What the hell, isn't she just deliberately trying to trick Qin Feng? Or in other words, deliberately hyping it up? It's just disgusting. Chapter 193, Envy or Envy. Yi Yuan, who was also watching the interview video, looked very calm. After a while, Yi Yuan opened her mouth and commented, Qin Feng and Yan Xiao are boyfriends and girlfriends. Yan Xiao didn't use this as a hype. It's not a big problem. What are you excited about? Oh, why am I so excited? Don't seem so calm. I feel like the emperor is not in a hurry and the eunuch is in a hurry. Yi Kai and Qian was used to speak openly, and when she talked to her sister, there was no formality. If you look angry, don't watch it. If you have to watch other people's interview videos, don't you feel comfortable here? After Yi Yuan finished speaking, she stood up and left, as if this matter really had no effect on her. However, when her younger sister Yi Kai and Qian couldn't see her, Yi Yuan's hands trembled a little unconsciously, revealing her mood at this time, which was far less calm than it seemed on the surface. All kinds of comments on the internet. On the contrary, there are no incongruous voices, and they are basically blessings. Those reporters asked about wool. Queen Yan doesn't want to say anything. Even if Queen Yan doesn't say it, we know that the ring must have been given by Sect Master Qin. The lice on the bald head are obvious things. I really don't believe that there are other men who dare to tease Queen Yan. They don't want to live. Speaking of which, the two of they are really a good match. I agree with this marriage. Queen Yan must have saved the Milky Way in her last life. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also a cultivator. The most irritating thing is that her boyfriend is Qin Feng, the first person in China. What good luck this is. Hurry up and move the Civil Affairs Bureau to the two of them and get married directly on the spot. I agree with this marriage, and I don't accept anyone's refutation. The news continued to ferment, and soon it became the first of the hot search list. After the investors saw it, they were all mad with joy, but they just invited Queen Yan, and the publicity fee for the daring can be avoided. It's perfect. It's better to take action. Following, there are countless people who try to contact Yan Xiao and propose cooperation. Unfortunately, Yan Xiao is not the kind of person who does not care about anything for the sake of career now. He will not force himself. I really have no interest in picking up other suckers in Ducal Village. Qin Feng was thinking about something in the room. Qin Zhu hurriedly opened the door. Qin Feng said helplessly, you said you wouldn't squeeze your tail when you close the door. Why are you so hot every time you come here? Shen, I'm your sister. I have to knock on the door seriously when I come here? After you get married, I'll pay more attention. Sister, you are going too far. You are older than me. The one who should be urged to marry is you. Don't force me out just to divert the firepower of my parents. Qin Zhu raised his fist demonstratively. Do you think I won't hit you? Don't talk about me. Besides, I feel like you will end your singleness faster than me. Haven't you watched Yao's interview video? Qin Feng was startled and shook his head. I really didn't see it. What? Did something happen? Kinzu smiled and pushed Qin Feng. Boy, you can do it. Silently, you even gave Yao the ring. Dara King has already taken the initiative. What? Took the initiative to start? Qin Feng was still a little puzzled. Kinzu pouted, looking very dissatisfied. I still have to pretend in front of me. I'll ask you that. The ring on Yao's hand was given by you, right? Yeah. Qin Feng didn't want to deny it. Then the truth will come out. Rings can't be given away casually. Qin Feng thought for a while and covered his forehead. I'm going. This matter is really careless. I didn't think much about it at the time. That ring is not ordinary, but it doesn't mean anything else. It's an immortal soldier. Wearing it on the hand can maximize Yan Xiao's hand. The power of the tactic has nothing to do with other things. Kinzu frowned because she knew her younger brother. You are nothing but brains. You think so, but when the ring is sent out, other people, including Yao, will not think about it simply. Now, everything has happened. Look, you can only make mistakes. Speaking of which, Yao is really good. My parents and I like it very much. It's more than enough to match you. Wouldn't you go to Los Angeles and hang out with your abominable ex-girlfriend? That's definitely impossible. Sister, don't worry about me, okay? Of course not. Let me tell you, Yao, it seemed that Kinzu was still going to talk at length here, but Qin Hongfu hurriedly knocked on the door and walked in. Sect Master, everything you said has been arranged. The clan cultivators have now arrived at the competition arena. Okay, let's go. Just in time to announce something to everyone. Kinzu saw the serious appearance of her brother and knew that there was something serious. She couldn't say more about Yan Xiao at the moment, so she followed directly and rushed to the competition arena. Soon, they arrived at the place. At this time, all the clan cultivators were waiting here. Hello, Sovereign, everyone. Greeted Qin respectfully Feng. Waving his hand, Qin Feng said slowly, you don't have to be polite, just sit down as you please. After everyone was seated again, Qin Feng cleared his throat and was about to speak when Qin Wen spoke first. Brother Feng, you called everyone here. Are you going to announce the affair with Sister Yao? I think it's completely unnecessary. Knows it. Just waiting for you and Sister Yao's wedding wine. Sister Yao's interview video. I also watched it. Sect Master, you are quick enough to start, and the rings are all delivered. Sect Master is still amazing. This is a rhythm of saying goodbye to single dogs. As soon as Qin Wen opened his mouth, he immediately took the topic off track. Qin Feng was a little helpless and said slowly, everyone be quiet. Fortunately, Qin Feng has a strong prestige in the eyes of everyone, and no one speaks anymore in an instant. Qin Feng glared at Qin Wen fiercely, and Qin Wen immediately shrank his neck in fright. He couldn't help thinking, could it be that he was talking more? I asked everyone to come here today because I have two things to announce. The first one, everyone knows about it. Today, Mr. Wu Hua will bring the situation and information of several countries that need assistance. According to the original agreement, our Qin family members will help and kill those alien beasts. When everyone heard Qin Feng talking about the business, his face instantly became serious. Qin Wen was extremely helpless. Well, it seems that he was really thinking wrong, and he has to talk more. According to Brother Feng's character, I'm afraid that sooner or later he will know good fruit to eat. Of course, apart from being afraid, Qin Wen and others are all curious. What is the second thing Qin Feng wants to say? Chapter 194 Announcement. Qin Feng didn't wait any longer and said directly, I have received reliable news that in the near future, there will be a big fusion between the other world and the real world. Even though the Qin family members have fought against alien beasts several times, they are considered to be well informed. After hearing the news at this time, there is an instinctive shock on their expressions. My grass? Great fusion. What exactly is the situation, and what will happen? Will there be obvious changes in our current world, or even the entire living environment is no longer suitable for us human beings? If this is the case, then it will be a big trouble. Sect Master, tell me specifically, what is the situation at that time, when? He asked in a lot of words. He was full of doubts, but he would not doubt the reliability of Qin Feng's words at first. Qin Feng said that the end of the world would come, and he was once regarded as a lunatic, but no one believed that he wanted to lead his clan to cultivate immortals. However, what happened later confirmed what Qin Feng said before. To a certain extent, Qin Feng exists like a prophet. Qin Feng waved his hand to signal everyone to be quiet. Soon, there was no other voice in the competition arena, and everyone's eyes were focused on Qin Feng. I just learned the news, and I don't know exactly what will happen. However, you don't have to panic too much. As for what living environment is no longer suitable for humans, I speculate that it should not be possible. After the Great Fusion, the current world will definitely change, but think about it, since there is more and more spiritual energy, it means that danger and opportunity coexist. Perhaps, the living environment will become worse, and we must also improve our strength as much as possible, so that we can have enough capital to deal with the next great changes. Everyone nodded unconsciously. They were already working very hard, and now that they knew the news in advance, they must work harder next time. 2 things have been said. Now, let's go back and assign the characters. Woohoo provided me with a specific list. There are Sun Country, Asango, Japanese Country, Bangzi Country, and Pharaoh Country for help. They want us to ask for help, take action and destroy the alien beast. Qin Wen couldn't help but said, I don't have a good impression of these countries, especially the Japanese country and the Bangzi country. One is more shameless than the other. Qin Hanfu, as a person of the older generation, is not so extreme, and said slowly, in any case, there are disgusting people and innocent people everywhere. Since we have asked for help, normally, we should provide some help. Qin Feng nodded. The 4th uncle is right. I promised Woohoo a long time ago about this matter. I don't believe what he stands for, and everyone knows it. It is impossible not to take action. Things are done beautifully. Remember, you represent not only yourself, but also the Qin family, and even the entire China. Understand? Everyone looked awe-inspiring, and immediately responded, clear. Okay, now that you all understand, I will assign the specific tasks. Normally, if you go alone, you can destroy those invading alien beasts. However, in order to prevent accidents from happening, it is still a team of 2. If there is a bigger crisis in the future, please contact me in time. The clansmen instantly understood that, if they encountered a monster-level alien beast, it was really not something they could deal with. Don't forget, the huge vortex above the village, that has not dissipated, trapped Qin Feng for 3 days at that time. If someone else enters the vortex, I'm afraid they may not be able to come back. Yep, Qin Wen, you 2 are going to Bangzi country, is it alright? Qin Yan immediately responded, no problem, Sect Master, promise to complete the task. Qin Wen hesitated, and finally nodded. Although he didn't like Bangzi, it was impossible not to go. Qin Yu, how is your injury? Sect Master, my injury is no longer a problem, and I also want to participate in this mission, just in the actual combat, to restore my peak strength, as soon as possible. Qin Feng originally planned to do this too, nodded and said, you and Qin Xiao, go to Asan Kingdom, and destroy the invading alien beasts. Understood. The 2 responded in unison. Sect Master, and me, I also want to participate in the mission. And me, my big knife, I'm already hungry and thirsty. Immortal. Cultivators from other clansmen expressed their opinions one after another. After all, in actual combat, they were of great help to their own improvement. Qin Feng waved his hand and everyone quieted down. You don't have to worry. In the future, there will be more and more such things. Moreover, fierce battles with alien beasts and even more powerful monsters will come. Therefore, those who are not assigned tasks will definitely have opportunities in the future. Qin Haeoksu, are you 2 going to the Pharaoh country? Is there any problem? No problem. The 2 nodded at the same time. According to the information provided by Woohoo, the invasion of alien beasts from the Pharaoh country is more violent, and Qin Haeoksu and Qin Zu's strengths, except Qin Feng, are the strongest existences. The 2 of them should make a move. It should not happen. What is the problem? Qin Wen asked curiously at this time. Brother Feng, is there another Japanese country? You haven't arranged anyone to go there yet. Qin Feng replied slowly, I will go there myself. Many people were surprised. Because of some historical reasons, they didn't like all the Japanese guests. Unexpectedly, Qin Feng would choose to visit in person. Of course, although he was puzzled, he didn't ask. He felt that, since Qin Feng made such a choice, he must have his reasons. Before you leave, contact Wu Hua, and he will make specific arrangements for you. By the way, you must bring enough pills, and take care of each other. If something uncontrollable occurs, please contact me at any time, and don't be brave, brother. Feng, don't worry, we know what to do. Yes, I will definitely be able to complete the task beautifully, and I will never embarrass our Qin family. Qin Feng looks slightly serious. In my heart, the safety of each of you is more important than the face of the Qin family. Don't think I'm long-winded. You must remember that, if something uncontrollable occurs, you must contact me. Yes, when? Everyone responded. Their hearts were warm, knowing that Qin Feng really cared about their safety. It is their luck to have such a kind-hearted sect master who always thinks of them. After the arrangement was finished, the few people who received the characters began to clean up. After all, they were going to leave their homeland and fight against alien beasts in a foreign country, so they must be relatively cautious. Don't forget, at that time, their shot can almost be said to gain the attention of the whole world, and try to ensure that no mistakes happen. Chapter 195 Rock Paper Scissors. Sister Qin Yao and Qin Wen set off the next day. It wasn't that they were anxious here, but the wild beasts were raging wildly in Bangzi country, causing a large number of casualties every day. Obviously, Bangzi country couldn't stand it anymore. It has been urged 3 times before and after, and, for the procedures for going abroad, as well as the processing of passports, with Wu Hua in the middle to coordinate, naturally everything will be faster. Originally, it was indeed possible to go there by Yufeng flight, but Qin Yao and Qin Wen were too lazy to do that, but chose to make a plain point. The main reason is that the things done by Bangziguo in the early days were too disgusting. More than once, the Qin family in Zhuancheng belonged to the Bangziguo family. Later, they took out the genealogy to clarify everything. If they rush there now, maybe the Bangziguo there will be unrealistic ideas on the side. When they arrived, the standard of reception on the Sti countryside was quite high. Qin Yao and Qin Wen have translators by their side, so naturally they don't need to negotiate anything. Just listening to the translator say one after another, the staff received by Bangziguo are very grateful to the Qin family for their help, and they are very moved to be able to come so quickly. Qin Wen couldn't help but say, don't say those nonsense. Since ancient times, Bangzi country has belonged to China's affiliated country, but now it's too lazy to care so much. It's only for those innocent civilians, and it's useless to say some pretty words. The translation was a little hesitant, and Qin Wen followed up, just translate my words directly to them. Before coming, the translator was instructed to meet all the requirements of Qin Yao and Qin Wen as much as possible. The Qin family's significance to the whole of China is extraordinary now, and it is definitely impossible to cause any unpleasantness because of the Bangzi kingdom. At present, without hesitation, he directly translated what Qin Wen had just said. The bosses of Bangziguo who came to receive the reception were a little embarrassed. Even if they were angry, they didn't dare to express it. They were afraid that Qin Wen and Qin Yao would just ignore the affairs here and leave no solution anymore. The only comfort in my heart is that I didn't choose to live broadcast this reception, otherwise, the shame would be even greater. Mr. Qin, the other party asked whether we should go to dinner or have a rest now. Qin Wen blurted out, what to eat? You don't need to rest, just say where the beasts are, just take us there. Hearing the translation, the other party's expression was very surprised, and he said a lot. What did they say? Qin Wen raced and asked with a frown. They are worried about the fatigue of the journey, and whether it will affect the state of the two of them. Shen, what effect can it have? I'm not interested in what to eat here, and I'm not interested in kimchi or anything. Hurry up and go home. The translator sighed, feeling that Qin Wen's words were too straightforward. However, his task was to translate, and since Qin Wen didn't care, he simply told the truth. After listening to it, the big men of the Bangzi kingdom had extremely wonderful expressions on their faces, but it was still the same as before. No matter what thoughts they had in their hearts, they still had to hold back. soon. According to what Qin Wen said, it was already arranged to be in the hardest hit area where alien beasts invaded. At this time, it has been broadcast, live on the internet, and it is also to give confidence to the local people. Oh my god. Although the Qin family's immortal cultivators are very powerful, they can't be just two people, right? The geographical location of our country is so important. Don't the Qin family take us seriously? It's too hateful. Can these two people deal with the unexpected situation that happens, since they choose so, then wait and see. Anyway, if something happens, they will suffer the consequences themselves. Sure enough, Linzada has all kinds of birds. Qin Wen and Qin Yan are obviously here to help. As a result, there are people here in Bangzi country who are looking forward to the two of them. When there was still a long way to go, the staff of the Bangzi kingdom who escorted the two of them did not dare to move on. Qin Wen asked inexplicably, why did they stop? After the translator asked, he said helplessly, they said that, if they move forward, they may encounter danger. Those alien beasts are too ferocious. In the end, they just don't dare to continue to take risks. Qin Wen pouted. He is the kind of person who doesn't hide his thoughts. Sure enough, they are a group of cowards. People in their own country are being slaughtered by alien beasts. They are not in a hurry. If we are in a hurry, just wait and don't want to go forward. Qin Ya spoke at this time. Have you forgotten what Brother Feng said? Hurry up and report to Brother Feng that you are safe. Let's go. Just the two of us. Qin Wen nodded in dissatisfaction. Okay, listen to you. Who made you my sister? The translator asked. Do you need me to accompany you? I think it's better for me to be by your side. No, you don't need an interpreter when dealing with those alien beasts. Qin Wen waved his hand, indicating that the interpreter would just wait here. As a result, the translator smiled dryly. I think it's safer to be with these two immortals. It seems like this is really the case. You are much smarter than them. Let's go. After all, we are all Chinese, and we will definitely protect your safety. The two took the translator and went forward. In fact, another important thing to come here this time is to ensure the safety of those Chinese in Bangzi country, and Huaxia has also responded, and will evacuate people in dangerous areas. It didn't take long before I heard various roars of alien beasts. Bow. The translator's face was a little nervous, and before he had time to say anything, there were already alien beasts who discovered that there were people coming here. Although there were immortal cultivators of the Qin family by his side, when he saw those ferocious beasts getting closer and closer, the fear in his heart still emerged instinctively. What the translator didn't think about was that Qin Wen and Qin Ya were arguing at this time. I'll still come. Why? Because I'm your sister. Qin Wen immediately said, that doesn't work either. This is a rare opportunity, so we can solve it with the old rules. Okay, come on. Rock paper scissors. The alien beast was charging towards this side fiercely. As a result, the sister and brother were playing rock paper scissors here. The translator was stunned and couldn't help asking, two immortals, what are you doing? Those alien beasts are coming. Qin Wen said without raising his head, don't worry, 2 wins in 3 rounds. We are deciding who will shoot. I have already met a round, and the winner will be decided soon. Come on. Rock paper scissors. Chapter 196. A good start. With Qin Wen out of the rock and Qin Yan out of the scissors, Qin Wen waved his arm in the attitude of a winner. Haha, sister, you said how good it was for you to give it to me earlier, and you still look splendid. Now, you have lost. Qin Yan looked very annoyed. It doesn't make sense. I've never lost before. Okay. The translator is watching with doubts about life. Can you two be serious? The alien beast is about to pounce. Well, the alien beast is really coming. So why don't you two make a shot together? How can we do that? Our sect master said that one person will take action and one person will take precautions so that we can be foolproof. Then Miss Qin Ya, you won't do anything? Qin Ya held her arms helplessly. You think I don't want to shoot? I can't. Now I can only watch the fun. Damn. Rock paper scissors. I actually lost. Well, alien beasts keep approaching, and as a result, Qin Ya is still struggling with rock paper scissors. What do you mean by this? Those who followed the live broadcast on the internet were stunned. Why are the alien beasts coming? Still playing these childish games there, too. Little attention. They will definitely pay a heavy price for despising the ferocity of alien beasts. The Qin family has won one after another in China, so they have lost their modesty. Don't they understand that arrogant soldiers will lose? For a while, those netizens who were also following Huaxia were unhappy. Goats and horses go to help them. Do you have to be cursed? They were all frightened by the strange beasts, and they didn't even look at them. Those strange beasts were nothing in the eyes of the immortals of the Qin family. Damn. Bangzigo. They never know how to be grateful. If I tell you, they shouldn't help them. A bunch of cowards. Qin Wen was already drinking at this time. Don't forget, that was an officially certified Bacchus. Look, Bacchus is still drinking Mayotte. This is also promoting domestic products. Okay. 1. Must praise the Qin family, even after being strong, never forgot their roots. Damn. Bangzi country. They also said that the immortals of the Qin family belonged to their country's family. It's shameless. In the continuous good discussion, Qin Wen finally stepped forward to meet the shocking beasts, but the sound of the long sword humming and breaking through the air suddenly agitated point for a time. Countless wind blades stirred around the blade. Kill. The explosion sounded like a muffled thunder. The wind blade followed. Chichichi. Those alien beasts were pierced by the wind blade one after another, and the ink-colored blood continued to splash out. Qin Wen continued to move forward, and the sword shadow flew. The surrounding alien beasts can't be stirred at all, and they collapse toward both sides like a tide, giving people the feeling that they must be destructive. Pow. Angry roars, along with miserable screams, continued to emanate from the mouths of those alien beasts. The translator was a little flustered at first, but after seeing Qin Wen's action, he breathed a sigh of relief unconsciously. It seemed that his choice was still extremely correct. It was definitely safer and more reliable to follow the immortal Qin family. Seeing Qin Wen's unstoppable slaughter of alien beasts, the trend of comments on the internet immediately changed. The immortals of the Qin family are invincible in the world. It's too powerful. I've already said that these alien beasts are not the opponents of the Qin family's good immortals at all. Those people in our country should have asked the Qin family for help long ago. They don't know what they are thinking. They don't care about the lives of ordinary people. It's too hateful. As long as the immortals of the Qin family are there, then all of us are safe. I'm about to burst into tears with excitement. I think we should let the immortals of the Qin family stay and offer all the conditions that can be open to impress them. In our country of sticks, there are a lot of people who are worthy of nostalgia. I have always insisted on my idea. The Qin family should be the family of our big stick country. This time, it completely annoyed China's netizens. Can you make a face? Sure. Enough. Trees don't need bark. They will surely die. People are shameless, invincible in the world, and the genealogy has been taken out. How dare you talk nonsense there? What are these things? At that time, they were still saying that the immortals of the Qin family would pay a heavy price for not paying attention to exotic animals. Now, they have begun to kneel and lick them. Sure enough, the people of Bangzi Kingdom are all determined by the wind. The little man. It's too stupid. They are too embarrassed to say it. I am too embarrassed to listen. If it wasn't to help the Chinese people in Bangzi country, I shouldn't have helped them. It's so annoying. I think it's what Queen Yan Ziao said. You have everything in the country of Bangzi. Compared with China, we don't have soldiers from the United States. In the constant comments, Qin Wen continued to kill the quartet point. Although in Huaxia, he had dealt with the impact of alien beasts several times. But this time, after all, he was fighting against alien beasts in a foreign country. Qin Wen was more cautious, and he always remembered what Qin Feng said. Facing alien beasts in good times, as long as you make a move, it is like a lion fighting a rabbit. You must do your best to treat the enemy with kindness. But you are cruel to yourself. Under the strong shot, those alien beasts have been completely defeated. These alien beasts are similar to the alien beasts that attacked some cities in China at first. They are very hard-headed, and they don't know how to escape. They are obviously not Qin Wen's opponents, and they are still attacking frantically. What Qin Wen is most afraid of is these. It's good. I have to find you bastards, grandpa of the province, and they will all die for me. The sword energy is vertical and horizontal, and the sword shadow is extraordinarily brilliant. The alien beasts have been killed one after another. Don't forget, Qin Wen has put a lot of effort into improving his strength. He is much stronger than when he first faced alien beasts. In addition to these alien beasts as a low-level pioneer cannon fodder, there is absolutely no possibility of threatening Qin Wen. The translator watched the whole game, and he clenched his fists in excitement and said, "Good fight. Bacchus is really good. This is fighting for face for our entire China. Dionysus is invincible and kills those alien beasts fiercely." Kinya yawned unconsciously, and for a while, she looked completely sleepy. Boring. Those alien beasts are too low level, and there is no challenge at all. Qin Wen was still killing the quartet. At this time, the vortex of the sea of clouds in the sky began to accelerate and rotate continuously. Then, there was a huge humming sound. Kinya's eyes lit up a bit, and she was obviously much more energetic than before. According to her usual experience, this must be the appearance of a more powerful beast. If Qin Wen can't handle it, then Kinya will have a chance to make a move. Qin Wen, who was fighting, narrowed his eyes slightly. Obviously, he was also concentrating, waiting for the appearance of a more powerful beast. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197, Strong Execution. The dark clouds in the sky continued to press down, giving people a feeling that the dark clouds were pressing down on the city. The speed of the whirlpool continued to increase. Now, with a deafening roar, a colorful beast over 10 meters appeared. It looked a bit like a tiger, but with a single horn on its forehead. It was nearly 1 meter long, and its fangs were exposed. Terrible. Boom boom boom. With the appearance of powerful alien beasts, the surrounding buildings were affected, and in the loud noise, they collapsed one after another, which looked extremely terrifying. At the same time, on the internet, a large number of people from Bangzigura commented pessimistically, "God, this is the end of the world. That alien beast is too fierce. Don't panic. I remember that Uaksha was invaded by alien beasts. Every time the immortals of the Qin family fought fiercely with alien beasts, powerful alien beasts would appear. I believe Bacchus can solve it." What? If it can't be solved? With all due respect, the ferocity of this alien beast is probably more terrifying than the alien beasts that haunt China. I'm also thinking about this problem. If the Qin family attracts alien beasts, but can't solve it, wouldn't it bring a huge disaster to our country? Oh my god, this is simply unthinkable. The netizens on the Huaksha side naturally won't get used to it, and said madly, "A group of ignorant bastards. There are many alien beasts that haunt China. There are many more fierce than this, which time was not solved by the immortals of the Qin family. It's so despicable." In their bones, they first thought of finding someone to take the blame. It's not a joke. It sounds like our immortal cultivators in China went to help them, but did they help them wrong? If you want me to say, Bacchus should leave it alone and let those alien beasts rage. The chattering about students on the internet naturally cannot affect Qin Wen, who is fighting. It looked like he was a little drunk, but without any fear, he shouted loudly, "Good come." The moment the words fell, Qin Wen rose up against the wind and ran towards the ferocious beast. The translator next to Kinya asked nervously, "Miss Qin, don't you go up and help at this time?" Kinya looked helpless and sighed, "I want to help, but the problem is, that alien beast can't pose a threat to Qin Wen at all. I really want to go. I guess Qin Wen should say I'm a fool. I still don't understand it. How could the rock paper scissors fight for Beisheng lose?" The translator almost vomited blood. What time has the Kinya family struggled with rock paper scissors at that time? If they hadn't experienced it personally, the translator would have felt that this was not a real thing. As Qin Wen continued to charge forward, there were boundless wind blades surging around, and the speed was getting faster and faster. Vaguely, it seems that those wind blades are like real existence. Kill Qin when exhaled, as if a dull thunder exploded. But the immortal soldier's longsword in his hand hummed, as if bursting out with a powerful fighting spirit. The wind blades began to condense around the longsword, and those halos became more and more intense. From a distance, it seemed that the longsword in Qin Wen's hand had grown to more than 10 meters at this moment. The comments on the internet went crazy. F***K. Isn't this a dream? I'll give it a go. To be honest, I've never seen a broadsword over 40 meters before. Now, I've really seen it. Bacchus. Looks very powerful. That alien beast should be wiped out. Right. Hurry up and pray. If the Qin family messes up, then we will have to bear the heavy price. The alien beast is ferocious, and I always feel that an accident will happen. People who have passed the stick have been watching the live broadcast throughout the whole process, and their hearts always feel unstable. There are also some people who slander Qin Wen's shot, and they don't know what kind of heart it is. Maybe it's because Qin Wen is a Chinese immortal cultivator after all. Let those Bangzi people, who are naturally sensitive and inferior, feel repulsive instinctively point the messages on the internet and Huaxia are much more harmonious. I feel that Bacchus is stronger. Be confident. Get rid of the feeling. And Dionysus is stronger. The stronger the immortal cultivators of the Qin family are, the safer we are. I can't wait for the immortal cultivators of the Qin family to live 100 years and become stronger and stronger. Kill alien beasts, raise the country's prestige. Come on Bacchus. During the discussion, Qin Wen's body was spinning like a spinning top in midair, and the blade of amazing length followed. At this moment, many people felt that feeling again. Qin Wen was the long sword, and the long sword was Qin Wen. You must know that the unity of human and sword has always existed in legends, but since the immortal cultivators of the Qin family began to show their hands in front of the public, there have been several times, and they have seen the unity of human and sword from different people's status. At the same time, that tyrannical beast soared into the sky, just to confront Qin Wen head on. Die. Ow. The angry shouts and the roars of the alien beast stirred together. Qin Wen was in a completely suppressed state. The roars of the alien beast seemed to be very humanized and revealing panic. PFFT. Qin Wen's speed has soared to the limit, and it is quite difficult for outsiders to see clearly. The next moment, ink-colored liquid splashed out. The powerful alien the beast had no time to play the offensive of its unicorns and fangs, and was instantly pierced by Qin Wen's hungry long sword, which pierced its throat. Roll. In the roar of anger, Qin Wen's arms competed, and the body of the alien beast weighing more than 1,000 catties was smashed to the ground. Boom. The ground seemed to tremble a bit, and there was a Xiangkang-like existence where the beast fell. There was no other sound, and the alien beast became silent. The eyes of other alien beasts that have not been eliminated are no longer so cruel, but rather dull and dazed. Obviously, in the eyes of those alien beasts, the invincible and powerful tiger-shaped alien beast is impossible. After Qin Wen slaughtered the powerful alien beast, the internet was silent for a while, mainly because the whole scene was too shocking, and the staff of the Bangzi kingdom who guarded the live broadcast forgot to comment for a while. Give me death. Since Qin Wen is here, it must be like what Qin Feng said, to eliminate all the beasts, things must be done beautifully. At this time, there is no rest. A person, a sword, face countless the alien beast that came, charged fiercely. In the perception of many people, although Qin Wen is only one person at this time, he has the courage and shock of thousands of troops and horses to attack together. What is even more incredible is that those who have an absolute advantage in number, the beast, at this time, has made a scream of fear. 190th 8 chapter successfully completed. It is impossible for the remaining alien beasts to pose any threat to Qin Wen. Until this moment, those people in the country of sticks reacted and began to comment. It's really a fairy. I kneel. Is that the god of wine? No, that is the god of war. My idol, Qin Wen Dionysus, is invincible in the world. No, invincible in the world. It's a pity. Our country has a vast territory and a long history, but why is Qin Wen not from our country? My god, why didn't you give us immortal practitioners? It's long overdue to ask others to help. In that case, so many innocent people will not be slaughtered by alien beasts. We must keep this immortal. As long as he is here, then we will be absolutely safe. No one knows whether the alien beast will come again. We can't invite others every time, right? That's right. Stay. Must stay. Those comments that keep appearing stun Chinese netizens. I'm going. What's the operation? Is this the rhythm of square dancing? And you still stay? Sure. Enough. It's still disgusting. At that time, I wished Qin Wen had an accident. Now, with all kinds of kneeling and licking, people really don't want to go to this level. Blind. My eyes. The people of Bangzi country are extremely shameless. Is there someone who can understand for the translator? Are they getting ready to dance in the square? Or what are they doing? They want to keep Qin Wen and Qin Yan in Bangzi country. It's just wishful thinking. If you think beautifully, let them wash and sleep quickly. In a dream, everything will be there. Obviously, this has aroused the dissatisfaction of many Chinese netizens, mainly those from the Bangzi kingdom, and it is indeed unpopular. Qin Wen was chasing and killing those alien beasts at this time, completely chopping melons and vegetables in comparison. These alien beasts are too low level. Even if they are not Qin Wen's opponents, they are very hard-headed. Qin Ya couldn't help yawning again. She was really bored. Damn, Qin Wen is a big show today. When I go back, I have to discuss with him and let him understand what his sister is. Up to now, Qin Ya still resents not being able to sell. Perhaps it was because Bangzi Kingdom had no effective means to contain it after encountering the impact of the alien beasts and chose to lie flat, completely failing to alert the subsequent infestation of the behemoth-like alien beasts. Of course, according to the experience of encountering the impact of alien beasts in China, there will be another round of impact sooner or later, which is not the current Qin Wen. After killing the last alien beast, Qin Wen shook his head dashingly. It's done. Let's get to work. There were no surprises in the whole process. Qin Wen felt that this would definitely achieve the successful completion of the task that Qin Feng said. The translator's face was full of excitement and shock. To be honest, he thought there would be a hard fight, but he never expected that from Qin Wen's action. It would be a one-sided massacre. Now that the alien beasts have been eliminated, those people from the Bangzi kingdom finally dared to appear, accompanied by bodyguards. A few big bosses from Bangzi country came hurriedly, and the expressions on their faces were quite excited, and they started talking there. Qin Wen scratched his ears and said helplessly, "What's the use of talking so much? I don't understand at all." Fortunately, the translator has already spoken at this time. Mr. Qin, they are all expressing their gratitude to you. Cut. It's okay to thank you or something. Let Bangziglo bring some benefits. According to the original agreement, let's come here. It can't be in vain. The translator nodded immediately. Don't worry, the strength you showed just now is extremely terrifying. Even if you lend 10,000 courage to these people, they will not dare to do anything in the promised matter. Those people were still chattering. The translator frowned, and his tone became a little stern. Come here. As if there is a quarrel. Qin Ya asked at this time. What's the matter? What are they talking about? They want to repay their debts? Don't want to honor what they promised? After hesitating for a while, the translator still did not hide it and said, they are asking if they can stay permanently, and they can offer any conditions. I have already refused. The translators are from China, like the immortal cultivators of the Qin family. They are of great significance to the whole of China. How could they agree to the request of the other party? The people on the side of Bangzi country first asked or even begged, but after the translators kept rejecting them, they became a little tougher, and the tone of the conversation between the two sides became more and more intense. At this time, Qin Wen stopped the translator, still talking about what happened just now. The translator nodded with an unsightly expression on his face. Yes, they said that, in order to prevent other alien beasts from attacking, let the two stay temporarily, which is not in line with the original agreement. Qin Wen smiled casually and said, there's no need to argue about this matter. You tell them directly, I'm leaving now, and ask them who dares to stop it. That's enough. The translator was stunned, and then translated Qin Wen's words just now. The faces of those people from the Bangzi country changed in an instant. When Qin Wen dealt with alien beasts, he showed his terrifying strength. Now, if Qin Wen is annoyed and shoots directly, the whole country of Bangzi will not be able to find anyone who can stop him. If you really want to find out, why don't you go to deal with the alien beasts early? Qin Wen K, regardless of their expressions, said directly, is there any problem now? Then go home. I'm still used to be in Dukao village, Bangzi country. It's boring. Qin Wen and Qin Yab walked out, and the translator followed. At this time, the bodyguards behind several big bosses of Bangzi country subconsciously moved forward and blocked them. Qin Wen narrowed his eyes and said coldly, There were no other words, just such a simple questioning pronunciation. Those bodyguards, their bodies instantly became stiff, and when Qin Wen's eyes swept over, they felt more attractive than being stared at by alien beasts. Fear instinctively dodged to both sides. No one dared to stop Qin Wen and Qin Ya from leaving. The follow-up things have not been broadcast live, otherwise, Bang Zigo's face will not be lost. At this moment, those netizens in Bang Zigo who didn't know that Qin Ya and Qin Wen had left were still having heated discussions. Unfortunately, all these thoughts are just wishful thinking. Qin Ya and Qin Wen began to embark on their journey back. Chapter 199. I haven't felt this way for a long time. Qin Ya and Qin Wen's mission to go to Bangzi country to slaughter alien beasts, although there were some twists and turns, was quite smooth and successful on the whole. At the same time, Qin Yu and Qin Xiaoyu had already arrived at Arsanguo. The accompanying translator was a young man named Li Hong, who was very talkative. You, too, we are about to arrive at the capital of the three countries. There may be strange beasts around, so we need to pay more attention to safety. Qin Yu and Qin Xiaoyu's personalities are relatively calm. If Qin Wen is replaced, it is estimated that at this time, they will directly pat their chests and say that there is no problem with him. Qin Xiaoyu just asked curiously, when the alien beast appeared in the Three Kingdoms, was it in the capital? Li Hong shook his head and said, it's not really. At the beginning, it was just a remote city in the west. At that time, Asango also tried to use various hot weapons to fight against alien beasts, but it was completely ineffective. The only difference is that they don't have a clear position on their own strength. Although they can't defeat the alien beasts, they still have to forcibly send fighters to attack. As a result, they provoke the continuous pursuit of those alien beasts. The defense of the capital. Qin Yu couldn't help but be happy when he heard this. Sure enough, Arsango always likes to do this kind of thing, and it seems that this is not the first time. The situation is relatively urgent now, so Arsango kept asking us for help. According to the agreement, they should send a plane to protect them. Now, it may be here. Li Hong judged it well. There are already 3 planes, which are both protection and welcome. When the plane began to land in a safe area, it could already be faintly heard. The sound of guns and the roar of alien beasts could be heard in the distance. It seems that Arsango is still fighting against alien beasts as much as possible. After Li Hong accompanies Qin Yu and Qin Xiaoyu off the plane, some big bosses belonging to Asango came to greet him in person. Although he tried his best to keep calm, he could still faintly feel it in his eyes. It was very urgent hope to be supported. However, after seeing that there were only Qin Yu and Qin Xiaoyu, those big bosses of Sango had different expressions. As the representative of Huaxia, Li Hong has already communicated with each other. After a while, I could feel that Li Hong's face became not very good looking. Qin Xiaoyu couldn't help but asked Qin Yu in a low voice, what happened? After pondering for a while, Qin Yu shook his head. It's hard to say right now. There should be some problems and we couldn't reach a consensus. There was some doubt between the two people's expressions. A Sanguoran with a beard on his face looked over and spoke in some Lamé Chinese words. There are only 2 people in your Qin family? Qin Yu didn't think much about it and nodded. Yes, the 2 of us came here. What's the problem? Beard frowned, looking rather dissatisfied. Of course there is a problem. We feel that you Huaxia and the Qin family have no intention of helping us sincerely. Back then, when your capital in China was invaded by alien beasts, all the immortal cultivators of the Qin family were dispatched. Now, the difficulties our country has encountered are similar. How can you two come here? Kinyu was speechless. This person is crazy. He said it himself. That is our capital in China. Point. The Qin family's emphasis is naturally different. Point. The most important thing is that the alien beasts in other countries are not too powerful. Point. It is definitely a waste to come to so many Qin family cultivators. Besides, Qin Feng told him to contact him if there is any problem. Point. With Qin Feng's strength, it wouldn't take too long to get here. Unexpectedly, these people from Asango were quite dissatisfied. Kinyu said slowly, the two of us can come. There will be no big problem. Oh my god, don't you think it's funny? If I'm not mistaken, you were the injured immortal cultivator of the Qin family in the defense of the Huaxia capital at that time. To be honest, I still have something to say about your strength. Hesitation. The bearded words were very rude. Qin Xiao's face immediately became gloomy and cold. Brother, you was injured in order to save me, and now the injury is healed. Besides, we came all the way to help you, not to accept your doubts. If you don't believe us, then we can leave. To be honest, Kinyu was also very dissatisfied. It was the first time he was looked down upon by others after so many years. The most unbearable thing is that the people of Asango obviously have no way to deal with the alien beasts, but they make irresponsible remarks to Kinyu and Qin Xiao who came to help. If this continues, Kinyu and Qin Xiao are already planning to leave. Even after going back, I believe that Qin Feng, the comprehensive team, will not blame the two people. Li Hong said angrily, the strength of the immortal cultivators of the Qin family is obvious to all. I don't understand. What kind of mentality or what kind of confidence and strength do you have to question our personnel? If this is the case, then we will leave directly. It was obvious that the three of them were in a very good mood, and those people from Asango began to change again. Beard said again, Mr. Qin, don't get me wrong. I'm just worried about your safety. Moreover, those alien beasts are too ferocious. If you only anger the alien beasts and can't solve it, we will only encounter even crazier revenge. Kinyu's voice is still cold. I'll say it for the last time. The two of us are fine either. We'll go deal with the alien beast now. Or if you still don't trust us, we'll leave. The people from the three kingdoms chatteringly. Point. In fact, in the final result, you don't need to think too much. They simply don't have the strength to deal with alien beasts. Now that the immortals of the Qin family are here, they definitely hope that Kinyu and Qin Xiao will take action. Point. Perhaps feeling the dissatisfaction of Kinyu and Qin Xiao, the attitude of those from Asango has improved a lot. Point. After Li Han communicated briefly with them again, he took the fighter's vehicle and rushed to the place where the alien beasts invaded the most violently. That bearded man accompanied him all the way. He should be able to speak Chinese, so he deliberately followed, wanting to hear useful news at any time. Kinyu and others didn't have a good impression of the bearded man, so they ignored it. Soon, the roar of the alien beast was heard. Kinyu said at this time, Xiao, wait for a while, let me take the shot, and you can wait and see for me by the side. Qin Xiao pondered for a while and nodded. She knew that Kinyu had his reasons for doing this. Unexpectedly, the bearded man said in dissatisfaction at this time, I heard it right. Mr. Qin, are you crazy? You want to shoot alone? Even if you even shoot yourself, you may not be able to do it. Are you looking for death now? Chapter 200. The speed of light changes faces. The bearded voice fell, not to mention Kinyu and Qin Xiao. The translator Li Hongxin who accompanied him was unhappy. His face was gloomy, and he scolded, how do you talk? I think, until now, you haven't understood the situation. We were invited by your country to help, not to interfere with this matter. You don't even have the least respect, so, I see this support, and that's it for now. The bearded man still looked aggrieved. Sorry, what I said may not sound very nice, but it's really for the sake of Mr. Kinyu. As far as I know, he was not seriously injured at the time, and now he is fighting with alien beasts, and his own safety cannot be guaranteed, right? Kinyu spoke at this time. If you, Sango, have a way to deal with alien beasts, and save those innocent people from being killed, then I'll turn around and leave. If you can't do anything about it, just shut up for me. Do you understand? Seeing Kinu's angry look, the bearded man felt a little guilty, but he still said stubbornly, I'm just worried that if I can't completely eliminate those alien beasts, but instead anger those beasts, it will bring disaster to my country. Kinu snorted and said, does it make sense for you to worry? If we don't come, it won't take long for you to give up the capital of the 3 countries completely, right? Now, we are your last hope. It's okay if you don't want to admit it. Well, I don't have to argue with you, but are you really sure you want to deal with alien beasts alone? Enough alone. The look on Kinu's face was very firm. This is crazy. If you can really defeat those alien beasts by yourself, you will be my reborn parents. But if you can't defeat them, shouldn't you give us an explanation when the time comes? What you said can't be beat. That's not going to happen. The bearded man was choked a lot. This is unreasonable. Kinu directly interrupted the other party's words. I don't have time to chat with you here. So according to what you said, if I defeat those alien beasts, I will be your reborn parent. Conversely, if I can't defeat it, I will call you father. Now, you shut up. The bearded man wanted to say something, but at this moment, a roar of a strange beast came. Now, the huge alien beast, all black, looks a bit like a wolf. The fangs were extremely sharp, and he even chose to run on a rampage, rushing to the car that Kinu and others were riding in. There are also escort fighters next to them. They didn't expect that there will be a strange beast suddenly appear at this time point. After I reacted, I thought about shooting. Not to mention that it is useless to the alien beasts. Even if it is useful, it is already too late at this time point. The bearded man's face changed wildly. God bless you. How could you be attacked here? At the critical moment, in the moving vehicle, Kinu opened the door decisively and jumped out without any hesitation. Even if the speed of the vehicle is not fast, if the average person does this, I'm afraid that they will not fall to death, but also fall. The bearded man blurted out, is he going to run away? Before he could finish his words, he saw Kinu rushing over to meet the alien beast. Without any weapons, Kinu at this time was completely trying to shake the impact of the alien beast with his flesh and blood. The situation here is also spread through various platforms. Not only those who choose to go online in Asango can see it, even in Huaksha, they can also learn about all the happenings through relevant channels at the moment. When the vehicle was attacked by a strange beast, Asane's comments all lamented, it's over. I haven't reached the front, so the people from the Qin family are going to die. There are too few people here. That's our capital. The Qin family doesn't pay attention to it so much, and they must suffer the consequences themselves. It doesn't matter if the Qin family dies, it will also affect us. Netizens over in Huaksha were instantly p******d when they saw those comments. I don't think we should help out a flat calf thing. Look at what they say as human words. Bastards, let the alien beast kill them all. Everyone, don't worry, don't get angry, don't you forget that those people in Bangzi Kingdom also complained in various ways. Later, they all had to kneel in front of the immortals of the Qin family. These bastards of Asan Kingdom will show us what a face changer is. Comments are increasing all the time. At this time, Kinu and the beast have already met by a narrow road. Die. Kinu's face was extremely calm, and he shot hard, faintly, and the sound of wind and thunder. The alien beast charged with all his strength, with no intention of evading. Boom. The dull sound of impact came, and Kinu's heavy punch focused precisely on the head of the alien beast. There was no scene in which the blood and flesh were flying as expected. The head of the alien beast did not seem to have changed at all, but the huge body, like a kite with a short string, fell backwards. Boom. After the body of the alien beast hit the ground, the dust flew up, and there was no sound at all. The power of Kinu's punch exploded completely from the inside of the alien beast's head. Although it looked like there was no damage from the outside, in fact, the inside of the entire head had rotted into a big watermelon, and naturally it was dead, and could no longer die. F***K. Well, isn't this dazzling? Blessed by the Buddha, this is too powerful. I remember this person who was injured at the time. I didn't expect that he could be so powerful. The immortals of the Qin family are indeed invincible. I think our country must be saved. Sure. Enough. Those Chinese netizens who said that the people of Arsango would directly change their faces were like prophets. After seeing the might of Kinyu's punch, the people from Arsango were probably all about to cheer. The look on Beard's face was extremely embarrassing. He just shouted that Kinyu was going to escape, but what happened now was like a heavy slap on Beard's face. Well, that Mr. Qin is really good. However, I still don't understand why he has to face those ferocious beasts alone. Miss Qin can choose to help Qin. Xiaoyu just pretended that she didn't hear it, didn't even look at the bearded man, let alone explain anything. Point of course, in her heart, Qin Xiaoyu clearly understands Kinyu's choice. Kinyu has experienced an injury and a coma. Now, he wants to use actual combat to get back to his peak state as soon as possible, and these strange beasts are not too powerful. It is just right for Kinyu to practice his hands, as long as Qin Xiaoyu is prepared for accidents. It can be said that everything will be fine. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.